Hey everybody, Sam Dogg, the infamous 253 coming at you live. Me, Dallas, and I got my man Jazzy Jeff in here. We wanted to just do a hangout for a little while, and we just want to come in here and talk a little football. I know you're not going to be able to be on the stream this Thursday because you got some things going though. But anyway, Jeff, what's going on, man? How you been, man?
I've been good. It's your boy Jazzy Jeff. Real talk, no gimmicks. Bringing that real Falcons talk to real Falcons fans, and I just want to say thank you for having me on the show. I always respect the Seahawks. It's always a good battle, and I enjoy your show.
Yeah, and then also, I'm joined by my buddy Dallas Stewart, which my buddy Dax Swags, who comes in the comments, calls him Dallas Talks Hawks. He doesn't have a channel though, but
I don't have a channel.
This is like my go-to guy. Like me and him, like whenever the Seahawks don't play a game, we do reactions on Red Zone when the Seahawks don't play, watching all the games, reacting to all the plays. So that's another fun thing we like to do. But what do you want to get into first? Obviously we have the week 1 matchup. We did our video on your stream, a while back, and we made our pick in a way. I think you had your team winning by a touchdown, or was it you had you guys going by 3? I had mine, but I had the Seahawks 28-21. Remember?
Yeah, I had by like 3. I look back at the matchups, it's always close, except for that one time where we beat you 36-20. But for the most part, on average, it's always like a 3-point game. So I expect the same with this one.
Yeah, and then I know we were just talking in our privacy in the gram. In the social media when we were talking about how you guys released Laquan Treadwell. Our team just released a fan favorite, Shaquem Griffin, the motivational story of playing with one hand. And then Jadeveon Clowney just signed with the Tennessee Titans, which, how good do you think that would make? Do you think that's a Jarrell Casey replacement right there if you're looking at Tennessee's perspective from when they traded Casey to Denver?
Well, yeah, because they also had Vic Beasley, who they took from us because we got rid of him. So now they have Beasley and Clowney on both sides. Jarrell Casey is more versatile. He's bigger. He can play inside as well. But Clowney's faster. I'm not a big Clowney fan. He's mostly hype. The dude never had a double-digit sack season in his entire career. He's great at run defense, but as far as if you want sacks coming off the edge, I can name a bunch of guys who don't have the same name recognition as him, but they have more production than him. But as far as Laquan Treadwell goes, I just want to say it's funny if you didn't know, on Twitter there's a whole beef going on between him and Atlanta journalists and reporters because they reported that he got cut because he was dropping a lot of balls in practice.
He was dropping balls in Minnesota too.
Right. But then he came on Twitter and he said that's a bunch of fake news. They're spreading lies about me. I never dropped a single pass in practice, and y'all, trying to ruin my career. So he's in this whole drama thing with the Atlanta Falcon journalist. It was kind of funny. He was beefing on Twitter, going off, having a meltdown.
Yeah, and then a little recently, since the last time we did our video, remember I did a little video hunt over with, talking about Minnesota trading for Yannick Ngakoue at 4:30 in the morning Seattle time. And it was just crazy because I had been drinking then prior to that and had to Uber back, obviously, doing that stuff. But
now he's on the Vikings. That's a good pickup for them.
Yeah, that's an Everson Griffin replacement. And then, of course, Linval Joseph left them too. And then other than all the other stuff, I'm really excited for this matchup. Me and Dallas were talking about, we gave you and Sleet a shout out in the video. Hey, what up? Rise up ATL. How you doing, man? So we gave you a little shout out with Sleet in the video, said that we were going to be doing this today since, you weren't going to be in Thursday, which I appreciate, the fact that, and like Sleeta said, Sleeta was really happy about how you and me linked up the way that we did to do those videos. We helped raise each other's hype, and congratulations on the 1100, man.
Oh, hey, thank you, man. It's not about me. It's about Falcons Nation, I'm just happy to be there for them.
But something else that's cool, other than that, because, I'm a Seahawks fan, it's all about Seahawks fans for me. But another true thing when you look in life, you got to be, fans of fans that respect other fans. It's fans of fans. You know what I mean?
Yeah, real recognize real. That's one of the reasons why I linked up with you. If I thought your channel was lame or whatever, then I would have never linked up with you. I only do this. I have a couple people who come at me and go, "Hey, Jeff, you want to do my show, blah, blah, blah." But they're people I really don't respect, or maybe their channel, I think, to be honest with you, fucking sucks. So I'm like, I'll be nice about it, but I'll be like, nah, I don't think I can do that. So, I respect your channel, and it doesn't have to always be a Falcons fan. It doesn't matter. I love talking football. So
Yeah, but like we all know the last couple matchups, like 2 playoff matches you guys won, and then obviously, like we mentioned in your stream, how the first one was basically started the fire that became the Super Bowl 48 run for the Seahawks, and which went through the Georgia Dome with Russell Wilson's only win in the Dome, and then of course there was the Julio Jones no call pass interference with Richard Sherman and Earl
16.
Thomas.
I remember
16. The crazy thing about that when you beat us in the playoffs is that we beat both the teams that were in the Super Bowl that year because we went to Foxborough, and we were the only team to beat Tom Brady after Brady's suspension from Deflategate.
Yeah. We have a funny stat about our team. It's every single time we lose in the playoffs, that the team that beats us either goes to the Super Bowl or wins the Super Bowl.
Well, 2012 49ers lost to Baltimore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as far as our matchup goes, I went back and looked at the numbers a little closer, and I realized that every time we lose to you guys, Russell Wilson has low passing attempts, and your running back has at least 20 carries, about 18 to 20 plus carries in the game. And anytime we beat you guys, Russell Wilson has about 35, 40 pass attempts. So I noticed because you told me earlier you want Russell Wilson to throw all over the place. But when I look at the numbers, when he does that, he loses the game versus us. You guys want him low passing attempts, Carson to go off rushing, because that's how you really beat us. We are our main weakness is interior rushing on us.
Yeah, so let me tell you this. Another key thing, which is why I think we beat you guys the last time in that too, and from other times we beat you guys, is because the team that wins the turnover battle will win the games. Like I mentioned, to me, my personal stat for Seahawks versus Falcons is the team that wins the turnover battle wins the game, and that's why we won last time. Because remember, I know you had Matt Staub and all that stuff too, and then he threw the interception to Kendricks, then Clowney and Ziggy Ansah had the strip sack and recovery at the end of the first half. And then our rookie, I re-look back at it, it was Marquise Blair, our rookie safety at the time, stripping Devontae Freeman, and Wagner just recovered the fumble. And
well, it's not just the Schaub thing. Even you're right. Even when we have Matt Ryan in the game, when he throws multiple interceptions, we lose the game versus you guys. But the times we beat you guys, Matt Ryan had 0 interceptions. So turnover battle is key. Also, not having Devontae Freeman, having Todd Gurley instead is a huge upgrade, because Falcon fans have been sick of Freeman's shit. The injuries, running side to side. He runs backwards. He can't ever get a goal line touchdown. I mean, he gets stoned all the time. It got to the point where we got so sick of it, we started running wildcats. We started using wide receiver screens in the goal line, things that we wouldn't normally do, because it was clear to me we didn't trust Freeman anymore running goal line. I think with Todd Gurley now, 15 total touchdowns last year, and that was quote unquote a down year. So, I mean, I think he's a huge upgrade. He just got to stay healthy, just like Freeman. He got to stay healthy.
I'm going to laugh at Freeman's times with the Jacksonville Jaguars after they released Leonard Fournette.
Well, he's from the Miami area, so he always said he wanted to go back. He originally wanted to play for the Miami Dolphins, but then they got Jordan Howard.
Yeah.
One of the things me and Sam mentioned in our prediction video is like this is a make or break year for Dan Quinn if you guys don't make the playoffs again. In
Absolutely.
our back-to-back 7-9 seasons, and me and Sam mentioned, or I mentioned, that you guys have too much talent to be below 500 again.
For years and years, I make fun of the Saints fans because they went 7-9 3 years in a row with Drew Brees, and if that excuse is out the window if we go 7-9 again, because that would be 3 years in a row. So we got to get it done this year, or else you're right, he gonna be fired. He should have been fired last year, but I think he was the back half of the season he was coaching his ass off to save the season.
Yeah, Raza Batesdale says that he thinks you guys win by 10 points, but
wow,
like I said, I think he said it could be a shootout, but I won't be at 10 points if you guys turn the ball over against us. And plus, Jamal Adams is going to be out there now trying to hawk the ball, especially with trying to stop the running game with Todd Gurley, which I think will be interesting. And then, like you and me mentioned when we did your video, I think, it's going to depend on Gurley's arthritis in his leg, but I think we may possibly see a brand new Todd Gurley in Atlanta. Obviously, he's from North Carolina, played high school ball in Carolina, but going back to Georgia, he found more of his foundation with Georgia, obviously going to college there, and then obviously now going to Atlanta. So we may see a brand new Todd Gurley.
It's also the offense in general. The Rams, I think they were one or two in passing attempts last year. And also they run a lot of jet sweeps, gimmick type plays where Todd Gurley doesn't have to do anything, and you could tell he gets frustrated. I went back and watched a lot of their games. We don't do that. There's going to be a lot of play actions. There's going to be a lot of bootlegs, and we actually have receivers who make people afraid, and they have to back up. Back on the Rams, they got Cooper Kupp, but once Cooper Kupp got injured, no one feared the Rams passing game, so the play action became dead, and people were just trying to stone Todd Gurley, selling out for him. On our offense, you can't do that on our offense. Number two, we have Hayden Hurst now. Obviously, we replaced Austin Hooper. Austin Hooper was more of just a possession receiver. Great hands, but he wasn't breaking away from anybody. He wasn't, juking anybody. Hayden Hurst is way faster. He's tougher. He breaks tackles, and it's gonna be a different dynamic there as well. Offensively, our team is gonna look a lot different. So it's gonna be a little more interesting.
And then, of course,
your team defensively looks differently, so that's gonna be the key there.
Yeah, and then also our offense, getting a little bit, I think with Pete Carroll mentioning some hype about Philip Dorsett with how fast he looked, and that I hope he's feeling a little better because. And then, of course, I mentioned the thing about us signing Josh Gordon and that too. It's like I don't know what the heck's gonna happen with that thing. Is it looking like the fingers are pointing towards reinstatement for him? It's like. I'm not trying to get too far into it, because he's signing the player that hasn't yet been reinstated, and just wonder if it's going to happen. And then Pete Carroll has shown a lot of hype towards Philip Dorsett too, which hopefully his leg is good because I think, and they say in this league with speed receivers with good hands on that, they say speed kills, man, speed kills, and because we got Tyler Lockett in the area, we got DK Metcalf who's a big guy and a fast guy too, And then you got freaking Philip Dorsett who can run pretty good routes and is pretty fast too, which obviously went from Andrew Luck to then playing a few years with Tom Brady and now coming to Russell Wilson. I'm anxious to see how he will fit in with Russell Wilson and that too. But
to me, speed kills if you can catch because we all know the Oakland Raiders, they have a history of taking fast wide receivers that can't catch and they end up not doing anything. The Darius Hayward Bays of the world. That right now, I think they reached for Henry Ruggs just because of his speed over guys who were better wide receivers. I think to me, Dorsett falls in that category, but whereas like a Tyler Lockett, he's fast and he can catch and he can make spectacular catches. So he's totally different from a Dorsett to me. Lockett is dangerous.
He can catch. The last game when we played against you guys, did you see the one-handed catches Lockett was making?
Yeah, well, didn't he have that Michael Jackson toe tap versus the Rams?
Michael Jackson smooth criminal toe tap.
Yeah. I remember that was a sweet catch.
I got that play on my video from when I was up in a suite that game, which was the night we put Paul Allen on the Seahawks Ring of Honor. I was up there in a suite, and I could not believe that he freaking caught that. I remember that one. Go to my video from Seahawks versus Rams in my freaking in my YouTube videos and. From last year, and you'll see that play. I got that play on video, and then I even got it on. Remember, it's kind of hard viewing it closer from being in a suite.
I remember that matchup because the guy I played had a Rams defense, and
Eric Weddle got forced on that play, man. That was Eric Weddle, now retired Eric Weddle.
The guy I played had Rams defense, and I was down 2 points, and that Lockett touchdown actually helped me win the game. Oh,
somebody won. You won on fantasy that night.
That night because that touchdown.
Damn, and I remember DK Metcalf had that big catch too in that game too. And then I think that game when we beat the Rams, I think that ultimately was what came back to bite the Rams in the ass for their Super Bowl freaking hangover when freaking Greg the Legs Berline, now a Dallas Cowboy, freaking missed that kick, man.
Yeah, and I also won the league, the Marshawn Lynch Beastquake year. I had Marshawn Lynch on my team, won the league that year because of him.
Yeah,
I had a couple Seahawks carry me to victory in fantasy football.
I think we thanked you guys last year after you guys pulled that upset against the Niners. The Julio Jones with two.
Yeah.
When we did our game picks the following week, we were like, "Thank you, Atlanta."
Thank you, Atlanta, for that game against Frisco. I think I told you about that when we did our first stream. Remember?
I was scared, one, because I thought Julio Jones broke his back, and 2, it was so damn close when he fell. That was just a great game. And what happened to that Niners defense? Because Julio Jones destroyed them. Matt Ryan was throwing dimes all over that defense. So I don't care about what's on paper. I care about what's in the game. Everybody hyping up the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Falcons fans, Saints fans, that they're not worried because we know. Show me when's the last time the Buccaneers have been good. The last time they went to the playoffs was like 2007.
Yep.
I was like 13 years old. So they got to show me something.
13 years ago, almost.
Yeah.
And then, like you mentioned, how these Tampa Bay bandwagon fans are coming all out of nowhere and whatnot too. But other than that, what's your thoughts on? I mean, getting back to that when we said we were going to talk football too. Other than that, what's your thoughts on this morning? Adrian Peterson going to the Detroit Lions, and the crazy thing is, AP is 5th all time in the rushing leaders behind Barry Sanders, Frank Gore, Walter Payton, and Emmitt Smith, which Emmitt Smith's record, he said he wanted to try to get that. But to me, I think Emmitt Smith's record is the most unreachable record of all time, in my opinion. And the crazy part about it, he has a chance to pass Barry Sanders this year. And if he passes Barry Sanders this year, it would be as a member of the freaking Detroit Lions. That's what makes it freaking insane.
Well, yeah, because the era of the 300 carry running backs is dead. With the way the rules are now, why wouldn't you pass? You get all the protection in the world from the quarterback. Touch passes are flags now, and people aren't just the workhorse era is dead. So I don't think it's ever going to be touched again. It's just a change in the guard. But yeah, Emmitt Smith was amazing. He was a beast.
And he had a line too. I mean, Barry Sanders did it without an offensive line. I think he got tired of losing, which is why he retired early. Yet still went to the Hall of Fame as the first ballot. I mean, we all know how incredible Barry Sanders was when he played.
But as far as AP, I think he's only staying in to break the record, and I think he needs an average of like another 1,000 yards for the next 2 years.
Yeah,
something like that.
Hold on, I got to
break the record.
Hot in this room.
So AP is going to have to play at least another 2-3 years to break that record. So I don't know if a team is going to allow him to get that many carries to get 1,000 yards a season.
I don't think so either. So I just have to open a little slider to get some air in. It's a little hot in this room.
Speaking of overrated, do you guys think the Niners are making the playoffs this year again, or are they overrated?
I'm not sleeping on.
They're making the playoffs again.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what do you guys think about the Rams?
The Rams
this year?
I think they're in decline.
They might they may slide off.
And then you also got the up and coming Arizona Cardinals in your vision.
DeAndre Hopkins, yeah, I think it'll be interesting. I mean, Arizona played San Francisco pretty tough the last 2 times last year, and Dallas and I mentioned that Cliff Kingsbury fucked over the Cardinals on that calling a timeout on that 4th down when it looked like they had to stop on the Thursday night game on Halloween last year. Yeah.
And Kenyon Drake is a beast. He won me a league in a different fantasy league.
He had a long touchdown run against us when we played him in December last year.
Yeah, without Clowney.
80 yards.
Last year, you had like 5 of those last year.
I don't
know what Miami was thinking trading him away.
He started halfway through the season and still finished with 1,000+ yards. So
yeah,
he was killing it.
Oh man, I'll tell you.
We can't sleep on Arizona anymore.
No one can sleep on.
They're not
Arizona.
A doormat anymore.
I mean, DeAndre Hopkins makes a big ass difference, and plus you still got the aging legend Larry Fitzgerald, who will obviously be a first ballot Hall of Famer in that too.
And they always play us tough, no matter how bad their record is.
Hey, how do you guys feel about the Seahawks run game? Is Rashard Penny still injured?
Rashad, it's not Rashard, it's Rashad Penny. Penny.
My bad, Rashad. I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend you. Go ahead.
Rashad Penny's on the PUP list, but like I said, we got this upcoming running back that we drafted out of Miami. His name's DJ Dallas. He actually played with Travis Homer at the U
in college.
And DJ Dallas has been really impressing Pete Carroll. Like he's been one of the main standouts of the rookie class on the offense, and he seems to be really excited about him. So I'm actually excited to see if we possibly maybe unleash him against you guys week 1 or see what else he could do. And plus, because we got Carlos Hyde and Chris Carson there too. But
so you got rid of Mike Davis?
Mike Davis went to Chicago after 2018.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
He left after 2018.
And we're just hoping Carson can fix his fumbling issue.
Yeah, that's basically it right there.
And what about your tight end situation? I know that one dude, he tore his shit. Did he God, what was his name?
Disley?
Yeah, Disley. Sorry, Will Disley.
Yeah, Disley.
Go ahead.
Is he back?
Yeah.
And he's the starter?
I think Greg Olsen might be the starter, but
I don't know how much Greg Olsen has left in the tank, though.
Dude, Greg Olsen, he averages a concussion a game, okay? That dude ain't going to finish the damn season.
That's why I hope freaking Will Disley plays a full season. I loved Will Disley was healthy. I'm not really too big on Jacob Hollister, but because the guy got overpowered in Green Bay on the stack that set up the third down where Malik Turner dropped the ball in the playoff game against the Packers. I really wanted Colby Parkinson, but he may start off on like a NFI because he was hurt earlier and had a surgery on his foot way back. But I was really excited about Parkinson coming out of Stanford because he hadn't dropped a pass. I really hope we can get Colby Parkinson eventually in the season because I got a little excited when I heard about him too. It's just
Rise Up Atlanta says Bucks 8-8.
I don't know about that, but they're gonna go about 9-7. But I still think they can miss the playoffs.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me pull up a share screen in that one, but let me make sure I get the sound on so that way I can see if I could find that play from Seahawks versus Rams of mine with Tyler Lockett's catch.
While you're doing it, I want to ask you, what do you think is the biggest weakness of the Seahawks going into this year in this game?
Biggest weakness? Probably the offensive line, or maybe the pass rush if we don't get enough pressure on the quarterback. So I've always been saying pass rush is that. We need a better pass rush for getting pressure on the quarterbacks. But I really want us to really still at least make a big-time effort to try to get the offensive line going again. So I wish we would have had an eye test with preseason because it's like –
lost Ifedi. Who else did you lose?
Ifedi. Well,
Ifedi was
we were happy
losing Ifedi was actually an upgrade.
Yeah, Ifedi was a fucking upgrade. We hated it. Ifedi's too many costly-ass penalties jumping.
I just remember the Chicago game in 2018
when he was getting destroyed by
Khalil Mack was like a it was like a rag doll.
Well, I mean, he does that to a lot of people, so don't feel bad.
No, but Ifedi was fucking garbage, man.
But I wish we had a better center.
Yeah. Hold on, let me pull up that video really quick, and let me pull up the share screen really quick, and I'll make sure to turn the audio on this time because application window, Chrome tab. All right, share audio. All right, am I on the Chrome tab right there with the freaking yeah, this one right here. Yep, I got it. Share and
okay, looks like we're starting the ball and we're receiving the kickoff.
Yeah.
I won't go much, though, because I'm in a suite, so I got to play it cool. But hey, we're ready to go.
Let's see if I can get that Tyler Lockett catch. I'm drinking my Pepsi right there, I think, with a lemon lime in it.
Oh, number 70, I think, maybe. All right, we got it at least. Come on,
I think this is the touchdown right here.
Touchdown.
I think this is the play right here. Jeff, can you see it?
Yeah.
You can hear the sound too, right?
Yeah.
All right. Because remember, I fucked up one of the other times when I was doing my cigar smoking stream with the audio.
It's okay. I fucked up one time and I left the damn studio.
Yeah. All right. I think this is the play right here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, this is the play. This is the one.
Oh! Touchdown!
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Was that Lockett? Lockett! Woo! Hey!
That was the play.
Touchdown, Tyler Lockett!
My dad. That's my father right there.
Hey, Dad! 1, 2, 3, touchdown! Tyler Lockett dusted him in the... Toe drag swag! Toe drag swag!
Hey, this cameraman needs to be fired. He's shaking the whole damn cam all over the place.
Toe drag...
What?
This cameraman needs to be fired. He's shaking the camera all over the damn place.
Are you fucking clowning me, bro? Fucking clowning me right now on my shit.
Joke, bro.
I mean, it's hard because, it's like sometimes I'm trying to steady it, being around, high-fiving the fans and whatnot, man. It's like, but yeah.
Hey, Dad, as Nate Burleson would say, toe drag swag. Toe drag swag.
Monday, Good Morning Football.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, that was the play where freaking Tyler Lockett made that freaking oh shit, my bad. God damn, I took you off right there. That was the play where Tyler Lockett made out, in my opinion, the catch of the year right there. That was the play.
Yeah, she was a good play.
I can't believe I captured that on YouTube. I mean, I just missed the Metcalf touchdown, and since the TVs were behind in the suite, I had to go to the suite to re-show DK Metcalf later on in that game with him dusting Marcus Peters before Peters got traded to the Baltimore Ravens.
But that play is a signature of why you need to keep Russell Wilson in the pocket, because once he scrambles, he doesn't scramble to take off and run like a Lamar Jackson. He scrambles outside the pocket to buy time to throw deep moonshots like that. And it's not all the time, but he picks his spots and takes those chances, and that's when the Falcons got to be ready, because they try to lull you to sleep with the run, and then they hit you over the head with that deep shot, and that's when we got to be ready, because that's the part we need to be able. I'm okay with stopping that. It's the run we got to stop. As long as we keep him behind the chains, we don't have to worry about that because they're more predictable and a deeper down in distance. But if it's like 3rd and 4. That opens up a Russell Wilson run. That opens up a Russell Wilson scramble and throwing a bomb. That opens up a lot of things. They can even do a regular running play, so like a draw. So we have to keep them behind the chains. Stopping the run is the most important thing to beating you guys, in our opinion.
Yeah, but we get the run game going with Carson. Carson does a better job holding on to the ball. Or say we bust out our new rookie and he does something, then it's going to be a long day. You know what I mean? But personally, for me, like I said, I want to get back. I want to be in the era where people have been saying it with the receiver core. We just want to let Russ cook. This is a year where we want to let him cook with the receiver core we have.
I'm telling you, the numbers show that you don't want to do that. You'll lose. The more passing attempts he has, the more you guys lose games.
Yeah, we'll see though. We'll see. It's just a wait and see thing. Like I said, I wish we could have had an eye test this year.
Because with our offense, I don't think you want to get into a shootout versus us. I think you guys want to control the clock and own the time of possession and beat us. Because once teams start beating us, rushing down our throats, that's when we can't stop anybody and we just kind of lose the game. But what we want to do is we want to get up points early and take you guys out of your run game, and that makes you guys more predictable.
But just remember this: if you want to do that, then you can't turn the ball over. You can't turn the ball over against our defense.
The more you throw in football, the more you're exposing yourself to turning the football over. We all know that. So it comes with the territory of passing teams.
Unless the O-line is bad and just pass rush is just having a day, there could be that.
Yeah, see, that's the problem with no preseason. We didn't get a chance to see if the offensive line is improved.
That's another thing. We had literally a half our offensive line decimated injuries, so we're fully healthy now. So we have way better protection. Our new left guard, Matt Hennessy, he actually played center in Temple, and now he's going to be our starting left guard. He beat out 2 veterans on our team in camp, and he's looking amazing. He's there's been a couple of times in camp where he has stoned bull rushes of starting defensive linemen on our team in blocking. So he's going to be a new force that you guys haven't seen yet. So compare him with a healthy Chris Lindstrom and a healthy Caleb McGarry and a healthy Alex Mack and a healthy Jake Matthews. Our offensive line is more fortified now, so it's going to be also a different test as well.
Isn't Jake Matthews related to Clay Matthews? By the way, let me get to the chat really quick. What's up, Caden? How you doing? Sleeta was in here earlier. Sleeta was in here earlier, and then obviously
he got to prepare though. He got a live with Norb Cam later.
Yeah, Norb was. I think that's going on right now. I think that's going on right now. Let me do the share screen again. Let me pull that back up. Let's see what they're talking about right now. Let me get the share screen back up with that. Hold on. Let me get the share screen back. Let's go see if he's live with Norb right now. What the hell they're talking about? We gotta listen.
Hey, what up, Caden?
Yep. All right. Norb Cam. I bet he's live right now with Sleeta.
Hey, Sandra, if you don't know, Caden Alvis, he's a Falcons content creator. He's in high school. He's up and coming, but he does everything, man. This guy, he live streams games. He does trivia questions. He does a whole, and not just Falcons. He does NBA, sports, everything, hockey, whatever. So just, if you can, just sub to my man Caden. He does a great job, man, and he supports you guys. I told him to sub to you.
I'll do that. I'll do that later. I guess Norb and Sleeta will be going live at 4 p.m. I guess it's a 4 p.m. thing. So that won't be for a little while on that. Hey, is there anything you maybe might want me to pull up on a YouTube from a certain place that you might want to share from your Falcons or anything too? Like I kind of brought up that Tyler Lockett catch on my channel right here.
You can pull up the Julio Jones no pass interference, because that was fucking pass interference.
I'll talk about like certain good plays other than that play, like a certain play, like for example, Julio sticking it over barely when you guys beat the 49ers.
Oh, just us in general?
Yeah, like in general, like Seahawks versus Falcons, but in just in general, like I did mine in general with the Tyler Lockett play.
You can show the game-winning interception versus the Buccaneers, week 17,
which was
or you can show us versus the Saints when we beat them 26-9 and sacked Drew Brees 6 times.
Falcons versus
Bucks. Put Deion Jones interception.
Buccaneers.
Versus Bucks.
How you spell? Is it Deion? D-I-O-N.
D-I-O-N.
D-I-O-N. Deion. What's
Jones.
Deion Jones, pick 6. All right, which was Jameis Winston's 30th interception, right? Yeah, the 30 for 30.
I was at this game. Overtime game winner. I was at this game.
Near career ended. Jameis Winston.
I was at this game. People were talking so much shit before the game, Bucks fans, and they was dead silent in the hallway as we was going down the escalators, man. And Falcons fans were just rubbing it in.
Tampa for that game?
Yeah, I was in Tampa for that game, man. It was like 100 and some degrees. I was dying out there, man. And
dude, it was like when I was in LA, it was in the 90s when we beat the Rams at 17, 16-10. I remember kind of saying some things like we saw a conquer. I kind of said some shit that I wasn't trying to say with some other Rams fans around, but they didn't get pissed because, I was doing it all good fun, and I celebrated the win with Richard Sherman. I remember that in 2017. But man,
I was at that game, and they charged like $10 waters, and when you're drinking alcohol, you get dehydrated. So I've been drinking and I was sweating balls, dying. I'm like, how much is the water? And there was like $10. I was like, get the fuck out. I told the guy, get the fuck out of here. And he was like, no, really $10. I'm like, shit. All right, give me one. Then I'm dying. I can't make it past the third quarter.
I almost got dehydrated during that Seahawks Rams game in 17 in LA. At one point, I was like, I couldn't breathe. Like, oh my God, I need water. I think it was after the Earl Thomas interception in that game.
I have a video on my channel. If you want, I could show you basically the day leading up to that game and after that game, and in the stadium. I'm talking shit all day long. It's in one of my channels if you were to pull it up.
Yeah. Guys saying we wasted 2 first-round picks on what? It's like you talking about with like LJ Collier and that and freaking Jordan Brooks. I mean, Jordan Brooks has been signed with the first team. We won't know for sure if Jordan Brooks might be a KJ Wright replacement. So, I mean, I think and plus Jordan Brooks, people don't realize Jordan Brooks was actually coached by the same guy that coached Bobby Wagner in college.
Wow, Cameron Hughes says Atlanta wasted Julio's career.
And like you said when we did yours, I'm not trying to get into the freaking trash talk thing. I want to just have a nice peaceful thing with Falcons and Seahawks fans like you did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just wanted like that. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, somebody said Atlanta wasted Julio Jones's career.
Yeah, Cameron.
Yeah. People think all of a sudden your career doesn't mean anything because you didn't win a Super Bowl yet or whatever. Was Dan Marino's career wasted because he didn't win a Super Bowl? No, he's a Hall of Fame legendary quarterback. He's amazing.
He put up Hall of Fame numbers. And, hey, was Jim Kelly's career wasted even though he lost 4 Super Bowls in a row? No. Jim Kelly put up Hall of Fame numbers, and he had Andre Reed, he had Thurman Thomas, and he had a bunch of Hall of Fame talent around him in Buffalo, man.
Right.
I mean,
And Dan Marino never had a top 10 defense. They were terrible, and they ruined his career. Is Larry Fitzgerald a wasted career because he didn't win one? No.
He put it on Arizona. Was Randy Moss's career a waste? I mean, I know he went to the Patriots and he still didn't win the Super Bowl. No, I mean, Randy Moss is, in my opinion, one of the greatest wide receivers of all time. I would easily, and don't take offense to any of this, I gotta say to anybody that's big on Calvin Johnson, I'll tell you what. I would take Randy Moss over Calvin Johnson all day, every day.
Yeah.
Randy Moss had a better career than Calvin Johnson.
Oh, who's arguing that?
Nope. I don't think anybody can argue Randy Moss and Calvin Johnson. I mean, what Randy Moss did, Bill Belichick revived Randy Moss in a way, brought back his greatness. And it was a crazy thing what Randy Moss mentioned in his Hall of Fame speech about when he mentioned Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft and the thing. I mean, it was a pretty cool thing to hear that too. I mean, if I remembered it, I would tell you what it was, but it was just something Randy Moss brought up when he did his speech, And then, when you talk Hall of Fame speeches, I think one of the best Hall of Fame speeches recently in NFL football was probably Brett Favre's speech, in my opinion.
Cameron Hughes says Atlanta will be right behind them with Glass, Bones, Neal, and Jones. Neal ain't played since 2017. I can name Chris Carson gets hurt all the time.
Carson got hurt his rookie year in 2017 against the Colts. I remember we were killing him, and I just said, we need to just put Carson on the bench and rest him for the remainder of the game. And just I didn't get why we still played him in that, and when we were already just blowing him out. You know what I'm saying? It's just. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm not trying to stir up anything like what's going on in the comments. So I'm just going to tell everybody.
Injury is part of the game, man.
Yeah, just play it cool, man. It's like, nah, I want to – and then Jason Williams said we wasted Russell Wilson's career as well. It's like, well, Russell's still putting up Hall of Fame numbers too. What he's done in his first 8 years in the league, I don't think will ever be anything that ever happens again, with the numbers he put up, even breaking one of Roethlisberger's record. And then obviously – winning the Super Bowl. But you know what? I know a lot of people say, it's because of the defense. But you know what people fail to realize in Super Bowl 48 is that Russell Wilson played one of the best games of his NFL career that night. He had I think he had 123.1 passer rating in that Super Bowl. Let me pull that up really quick. I know. Let me just pull that up really quick. .48 passer rating. Hold on a second.
And I'm not one of these people who says, if you have a Super Bowl ring, that means you're automatically better than another player who doesn't. That's not true. There's a lot of people who have carried the coattails of teams and won rings, and they weren't that good. Trent Dilfer has a ring. Is he better than a Matt Ryan? No, he's not. Brad Johnson, he won a ring. Is he better than most quarterbacks? No, he's not.
No.
I can name a million people who have rings and they're not good.
Exactly. That's what people got to freaking understand, they just got to realize that, like you said, like you and me said, real respect, real, and that's what you and me are doing. So check this out. He had 123. No, wait, that was he had a 2,300. Russell threw for 206 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions for 123.1 passer rating in a 43-8 round of the Denver Broncos. So he had 123.1 passer rating. Because what I remember about that game, one of those plays, Wilson threw a dime to Doug Baldwin, and Doug Baldwin torched Champ Bailey. I remember that play, even though he got held to a field goal. Wilson was hitting on his passes, and Peyton Manning had no answer for our defense because our defense was smelling blood in the water like sharks, and Peyton could not wave him off. And Cam Chancellor, even on one interview, said that Peyton led him to the ball, hence was the interception play. And then obviously the play that set the tone for our defense was when Cam Chancellor blasted Demaryius Thomas.
And that's what I'm saying. Football is a team sport. I never – just because someone loses a game, it's the quarterback's fault. That's not true. It's a team sport. In Matt Ryan's entire career, he's had a top 5 defense once in his entire career, and he's been playing 12 plus years. Yeah. I would love to see what Matt Ryan would do with the Legion of Boom on his team. I would love to see that. It's a team sport, so I'm not gonna give a guy too much glory, and I'm not gonna bash a guy too much. It's individual play, and I know a lot of people talk about 28-3 in the Super Bowl. Matt Ryan did his job that game. The defense collapsed, and then we became gassed, and then Devontae Freeman couldn't block anybody and got Matt Ryan killed twice. So
Hightower was one of those plays I still remember looking back at that too.
And then one drive right after halftime, Robert Alford, our cornerback, who's no longer with us, he's now in the Cardinals, and he just tore his pectoral, so he's out for the season. He got called for back-to-back defensive holding calls on Tom Brady, and then we had a pass interference call right after that, and we gave Tom Brady a free 80 yards down the field where he didn't even attempt to pass. We just gave him free 80 yards, and that was one of the touchdowns that they scored to come back. So the defense didn't do their job. The running game didn't do their job. Shanahan didn't do his job.
All right. But anyway, other than that, when you talk about when we talk about underrated players in recent history, who would you say was the most underrated player in your team's recent history that's been pretty good? I know a lot of people, and Jason Williams friggin' said this on there about Doug Baldwin. Doug Baldwin was not trash. I mean,
he was not. He made
Baldwin was a very
catches.
Doug Baldwin
was not trash.
Doug Baldwin, I think, was one of our most underrated players in recent history. We got him undrafted. I mean, Richard Sherman even phoned him up on one play after we drafted Sherman in 2011, and we got Baldwin undrafted. I think Baldwin's been one of the most clutch undrafted receivers in recent NFL history. And he actually still lives in the area after he recently retired, opened up a community
Doug
center.
Baldwin is definitely not a pedestrian receiver like when Chris Carter, yeah.
Yeah, but Baldwin kind of needed to humble himself a little bit. And then once he humbled himself, I'll tell you, Doug Baldwin just got together and he started lighting up the league, you know?
I still remember that he made that sick one-handed catch in the wildcard game against the Vikings.
The Blair Walsh missed kick game. And then Russell Wilson's play. But anyway, what about you? Who is your most
the obvious answer is Matt Ryan, but I'll go a different route because if you put up a blind resume to most quarterbacks' careers and you'd see how good Matt Ryan is, it's just that people are so hung up on that 28-3 Super Bowl, they just completely ignore his entire career, which is a Hall of Fame worthy career. But I'll go with Grady Jarrett. Grady Jarrett is one of the best defensive tackles in the NFL. He had 3 sacks in the Super Bowl on Tom Brady himself. And this guy, he can beat double teams. He can beat so many things. But people, I've seen lists of top defensive tackles. They have guys like Kenny Clark from the Packers ahead of him, which is absolute joke. Grady Jarrett is a top 3, top 4 defensive tackle in this entire league.
Yeah, forgive me. I had to put Jason Williams in a timeout for all the shit talking, you know. It's like I'm trying to have a clean stream, so I'm just trying to just play it cool, you know. I had to put him in a timeout, you know.
hey, I got people on my stream that do the same thing, man. They come in there talk reckless, talking about Falcons going 16-0 and fuck the Bucks, and I'm like, dude, you're making my fan base look bad, and I ain't having that shit.
Me and Sam are realistic about what kind of
right
have. We never think they're going to the Super. We never at the beginning of the season say, "Oh, the Seahawks are going to the Super Bowl."
What we always do is we try to go one game at a time, 1 week at a time, one play at a time. I've never been, and you heard me say it for assuming the record. I told you I'm never one for just going and assuming shit. I've always been one just to be realistic and take it one game at a time. You know, it's just that's basically all anybody can really do.
And that's what all my channel and Intentional Underground is about, because we bring realness and objective facts to our fans. We don't lie to our fans. We try to reach those who, Falcons are going to go 16-0, or, hey, why can't we re-sign every single free agent that comes to our team? We don't do that. We try to give real, honest, objective perspectives. There's some fans who want to say, the Bucks are going to win 4 games this year and the Falcons are going 16-0. And I have to tell them, dude, you make our fan base look bad. You got to be realistic about the stuff. And that's what I try to do. When I came out with my schedule prediction, people are like, dude, you really have us losing 5 games. What's wrong with you? I'm like, do you not remember the Super Bowl? We lost 6 games that year. That doesn't mean that we're not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And so you got to keep it real. You got to be objective about stuff, or else people are not going to take you seriously.
Yeah, another good YouTube content creator we know on here, my buddy Brendan Nelson. He just did his season prediction video too, and he had us going 12-4. But he gives really realistic points on certain things. I would recommend you check him out and holler at him. He's a really cool, realistic Seahawks fan too. I mean, we should be able to be getting some freaking game. Some game previews coming up soon. Let me pull up his channel first. Let me bring up the YouTube thing again, and let me pull up his channel. Let me turn the screen share back on this one. Let me add this back to the screen, and Let me show you him. All right, he's a really cool dude. Brendan.
Can I answer Cameron's question first?
Yeah.
Isaiah Oliver, he still needs a lot of work. He's really good because he has long arms, but he holds a lot, and that's something he needs to work on. And with the new upcoming of AJ Terrell, the development of Kendall Sheffield, Isaiah Oliver, I pray for him, but just projecting in the future, he's got to do a better job, or else he's going to find himself on the outside of our team moving forward. But go ahead.
So yeah, this is Brendan Nelson. He also does some cool video game streams, but he'll talk football during the streams, like in the chat with some of the usual people in there. And then here's his a prediction video right there. Like I mentioned, can you see that all right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So hit him up sometime. He's a really cool dude, and plus really smart. I'll have to hit up your guy Caden again really soon too. Like after this stream is done. As a matter of fact, you said his name was Caden. What's his last name?
Alvis. Alvis.
Alvis. How many subs is he at?
I got him up to like 600.
All right, here's 615. Here's
there you
615 for Mr. Caden Alvis. I got him, man.
What was your score prediction for this game?
He had
shit. Can we pull up my channel real quick, or you want me to pull? I'll pull it up.
Can you pull it up on a screen share, or does it have to be on?
Can I share my screen?
I think you can. Yeah.
Let me
check the thing on there, man. It's like, whew. I gotta stand up for a little bit. I gotta go by the slider and get some cool air. Can you give me a sec?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Cameron Hughes said Seahawks 11-5, Falcons 10-6.
That's what I have as our record, 10-6.
This year?
Probably had a fan in here.
I'm gonna try sharing the screen because I got the video up.
Yeah. I think you gotta do the thing. Make sure you hit the screen share and then the tab, and then hit the share audio on there. All right. Gosh, I don't know if it works on with the person who's hosting.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's blank. It won't allow me to share.
You want me to do it? Me to do it? I'll do it. All right. You want me to put on the audio too? And let me just.
If you want.
All right. Let me just open up another tab really quick, and it's on YouTube, right?
Yeah, it's on my channel. It's the schedule prediction.
All right. I know I saw your.
Just fast forward. Yeah, just fast forward past the talking. It's like a couple seconds of talking.
Yeah. All right. So, all right. I'm on your thing. You did your week one. All right.
Go to
Video. Do you see it?
Yeah, right there. Schedule prediction.
Schedule breakdown.
To the right. Right next to Smitty. You see schedule right there.
Yeah. See, I always like those cars you had in. I know you said you weren't much of a car guy. So look at that. You have exotic cars in your video. What do you want?
Nice car guy, man. I had to switch it up. No, go back to the front. You're the first game.
Seahawks.
Just go past the talking to the front.
Yeah, that's Devontae Freeman from. No, that's
True Fire.
Big Beasley. So yeah,
24.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you had.
Hey, play the rest of that pass right there, bro.
Oh, that was Julio Jones.
Oh, that's Julio.
Yeah, and then so all we wanted to see was the Seahawks part, right?
You have them going 10-6.
10-6.
Yeah.
Wild card.
Yeah.
Because of New Orleans.
Wild card or the division. I have the 3 teams coming out of the NFC South in the playoffs.
The other one Carolina, or is it Tampa Bay?
No, Carolina making it. I think us, the Saints, and the Bucks are gonna make the playoffs.
We picked Carolina to beat the freaking Las Vegas Raiders in that first game because we're not so sure what the Raiders are going to have and whatnot. It's just like it's kind of a tough pick to know for sure. Some of these picks sometimes we really think on them. Some of them are just tough. Hence, me and Dallas have split on picks.
I think the Vikings Packers might have been the toughest pick of week one.
Remember, there's always teams that made the playoffs last year that we think are going to ball out this year, and they don't end up doing that. So. I think a team like the Vikings could potentially miss the playoffs. I think a team like the Niners could potentially miss the playoffs. And plus, we added a playoff spot now to the bracket now.
Yeah.
So I think that leaves room for 3 teams from the NFC South to make the playoffs.
And then
9 and 7 is going to get somebody in again.
It could.
The Eagles made it the last 2 years at 9 and 7.
12-Man Nation says, do you think DJ Dallas will live up to the hype from the practice squad? I think DJ Dallas is actually going to be on the roster.
Hell, I remember that year the Vikings and the Rams were 8-8 wild cards in 2004 and made it.
Yeah, and then we lost.
That was a weird year.
We lost to the Rams at home in that one, which sparked the run to Super Bowl 40.
He had 2 8-8 wild card teams that year.
We played we played Michael Vick in the following year in 05. That was our home opener against you guys and Mike Vick.
It was the Vikings and Rams, not the Falcons and the Rams that were the wild cards. So they both made it at 8-8.
Hey Jeff, tell Dallas the story about, because I was telling Dallas about how your dad was a Bears fan since you live in Chicago, and I wanted Dallas to have you tell you his story about how you became a Falcons fan and everything, because of like Deion Sanders primetime and that too, and then the Mike Vick thing.
So when I was a real young kid,
hey, Michael Mathis is in here. Matt Hits Media. Sorry to say hi to Michael Mathis really quick, but go ahead.
It's okay. Wait, first, Cameron Hughes says, who's my favorite young Falcons player? It's going to be AJ Terrell, our rookie corner. I doubted him at first, but I've seen him in practice get an interception on Calvin Ridley. I've seen him get a pass deflection on Julio. So he's balling out for a rookie. So he's my favorite young Falcon. But back to my story. When I was a real young kid, it was Deion Sanders, and my favorite number was 21, and I always played corner, Pee Wee high school, Pee Wee to high school. But when he went to the Dallas Cowboys, I almost became a Dallas Cowboys fan. I was thinking about it. I even had a turtle when I was a little kid. I had a turtle, and I named him Emmett because I was a big Emmitt Smith fan, and I almost became a Dallas Cowboys fan. But then I decided once we got Michael Vick that I'm gonna stay. And my dad always cracks jokes on me saying, we're all Bears fans. I don't know where the hell I went wrong with Jeff because he's a Falcons fan. So he always picks on me and talks trash about me. But growing up, I just never felt anything for the Chicago Bears. When they went to the Super Bowl with Rex Grossman, I didn't feel anything. I was just like, I want to see the Falcons play. I didn't, But yeah, before Mike Vick came, I was a giant college football fan, and I watched Virginia Tech, and I called it one day. I said I would really like this guy in the Falcons, and he ended up being on the Falcons. So that kind of, to me, was like a sign that I should be a Falcons fan the rest of my life. Yeah. So I was an early Falcons fan. I was a fan of the 1998 Falcons, Chris Chandler in the Super Bowl when we lost to the Denver Broncos. But yeah, and I questioned leaving the Falcons. I thought about it real hard, but then Mike Vick and those dirty birds brought me back. The Warwick Dunn, the Algie Crumplers of the world made me want to stay on being a Falcons fan. So then I just stayed, and the rest is history.
Yeah. Oh man. So yeah, another guy you should also meet. I mean, see the guy down there in the comments, Matt Hits Media. He's the one he should have a job with Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport, because that's my guy that I always shout him out on videos when he lets me know of a player going elsewhere in the league. My buddy Michael Mathis, you've heard me shout him out on my videos about certain players going elsewhere. Like he hit me up about the Adrian Peterson thing. He was first hit me up on the Clowney news. He hit me up on everything. And then we did the video for the Quandre Diggs trade last year too. And then I was holy shitting him when the Jamal Adams thing happened, but he was doing some yard work in that too with his dad. So it was pretty crazy when that happened, But yeah, shout out Michael Mathis, Matt Hits Media. He should be. I mean, he plays a lot of Rocket League, and he did do a bunch of Madden though too, and does some crazy plays with the All Madden team too. So he was saying stuff on that too.
Shout out 12-Man Nation. I believe I've seen him in my live stream before.
Yeah, he says Northwest born, Tacoma, Washington, go Hawks. For me, my story was different because I told you I was born in Wisconsin on your stream, right?
Right. And
then I moved to Washington during my first year of being alive. So I grew up on the Seattle sports and the Washington sports teams, That was my story for when I came up with Seattle sports, going to a bunch of Sonics games back in the day and everything. too. And
So
then
how come you didn't become a Packers fan?
because I was living in Washington, because I grew up on Washington sports. I grew up on the sports teams of Seattle.
Okay.
I just grew up watching it. That's just what I chose, you know. But I got respect for my family. That's a bunch of Packers fans in that too. I mean, and they rooted for us when we were in those Super Bowls. You know, so the love is real there. You know, I mean, with family. You know,
Cameron, it's all good, man. It's just that when you come at my team and say things, you gotta expect me to punch back. I'm just saying, I'm a nice dude until you take a swing at me. You know, then you stepping in the ring with Mike Tyson in his prime.
Yeah, Mike Tyson, and isn't that fight coming up between Mike Tyson and who was he supposed to fight on the 12th?
What's his name's coming out of retirement to fight him?
What was his name again? I keep forgetting. And then wasn't Nate Robinson?
I used to box all the time. Now I can't remember his name.
God damn.
Roy Jones Jr.
Is that Roy Jones Jr.?
Yeah, he's coming out of retirement to fight Mike Tyson. They're almost the same age.
In their 50s?
Yeah.
Shit is crazy with that, man. Let me tell you, man.
They're both coming out of retirement?
Yeah. Mike Tyson was one of the first of all, he had the greatest uppercut I've ever seen in my life. And he was so good until people figured out how to beat him, and that is with stamina. You have to outlast him because he tries to knock you out in the first 3 rounds. And a lot of dudes, they ended up learning how to hold on to him and just dance around. And by the 5th, 6th round, he gets gassed, and then you could just knock him out. But before that, man, he was knocking people smooth out quick. I mean, it was amazing. I don't like boxing these days. I don't like this whole Floyd Mayweather dancing around, playing the card all game. Like, he just lightly taps you the whole time. I don't like that shit.
Did I ever tell you I saw him
for a knockout?
Did I ever tell you I saw him in Vegas at Dre's?
Yeah, you told me.
Yeah, I was just trying to remember that. He had the plane and the money bag on him, and freaking DJ,
Duke.
The DJ from Dre's nightclub. I keep forgetting his name. I keep forgetting his name. It's a pretty popular name. He's the main house DJ at Dre's nightclub in Vegas.
Oh, damn, the Bucks Heat game is on right now too.
Milwaukee Bucks and Miami Heat.
Yeah, Heat up 98-92 in the 4th.
I'm gonna turn on the TV right now and put the game on so we can still continue this and watch it at the same time. You know. Let's turn it on. Is it on TNT?
What year do you think boxing went downhill?
What year boxing went downhill?
Yeah. What time frame?
I say after the Holyfield, Lennox Lewis retired. Probably late early 2000s. It started becoming more of a lightweight scoring card type of boxing. I think the 90s was all about heavyweight fighters, knockouts. Mid 2000s was more about lightweights and playing the card because they can't knock anybody out. And that became the rise of Floyd Mayweather.
When did Floyd Mayweather debut?
Can't remember.
Wasn't like
he's been boxing for like what 16, like 12 years now.
I like his cars, man. I've seen his car collection. You know, I'm a car fanatic too. Did you see it? By the way, did you see that sick ass Lamborghini I was in last night?
Bro, you showed me today. Yeah, you keep talking about it. You love Lamborghini.
Yeah, I saw a video where this guy took it. I mean, the guy that owned it took it 181. I think it was on I-90 or I-5, one of those things, man. It went 181 miles per hour in that Lambo. Like the owner of the Roadhouse showed me it, which is the bar I like to go to. I've been going to Top Gun lately, though, which used to be it's at the Pierce County Airport on Meridian in Puyallup, which used to be the Hangar Inn, which used to be a diner, which is like a little airport with like those little prop planes and everything, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, whew. But next season, coming up next season, 2021, when this coronavirus mess is all done, you trying to go to any other games? Because I know I'm trying to eventually go to this new SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles or wherever else we played. I wanted to go to Miami originally in week 4. I'm
not doing anything without a vaccine, number one, and I don't know. I might wait it out this year.
They should hopefully have it back by hopefully by January. I know it's what
I won't get a haircut. I won't see a movie in a theater until I get a vaccine. I ain't taking those chances.
I would like to go back to the gym though and work out, to be honest, but it's like I'm just trying to play it safe. I need to get back, obviously, to doing crunches and that too. I do 100 crunches I would do 100 crunches a day, you know?
Will the Falcons allow fans at some point this year or no?
They said they want to, but right now they're not going to for the first couple of games.
Yeah, the Seahawks
play by ear thing.
The Seahawks did the same thing in the freaking first 3 home games. There's no fans to stand for the first 3 home games, and I don't know what the heck. Me personally, for me, it's like if we're gonna have a fucked up year with a pandemic and that, it's like just keep everybody safe and just playing without the fans and just keep everybody safe. And I know they took away the jersey swaps, which is freaking ridiculous, which is like a 2-second thing. I mean, I even saw Richard Sherman vent out his frustrations about it. I mean, it's something that takes because you got people tackling each other and everything. It's like, come on. I mean, the jersey swap is the biggest sign of respect in all of NFL among your peers, you know?
I'm the complete opposite. I hate the jersey swap. I think it's the dumbest thing in the world. I think they should get rid of it. I'm old school. I don't like that whole kissing the opponent's ass after a game and being buddy with him. I like old school. You shake the hand of the opponent and go back to the locker room. I don't know. To me, it's like almost like an idol worship thing, and dudes are like they almost look like fanboys out there, almost like they don't care about the competition. To me, I don't know. I just don't like it.
99-100 Miami right now. 99-100 Miami. I got the game on TV right now with the Bucks and the Heat. The last real NBA game I went to was in the BMO Harris Bradley Center in Milwaukee. It was crazy thing is now that arena's gone. If I would have been able to go back a year later after that, because I went in 2012, right? And I just missed Giannis by 1 year. But I saw Dwight Howard in his last year with the Orlando Magic. I even got a high five from him that day. I miss the Sonics though, man. There's even a YouTube video of the preseason game I went to at the Key Arena between the Golden State Warriors and the Sacramento Kings. I even got a selfie with Kevin Durant that night. And then, of course, I talked to my all-time favorite Sonic, which was Gary Payton. And, I hate Oklahoma City. I hate Howard Schultz for selling the team to Clay Bennett and Clay Bennett to line to us. So I think, don't take offense to what I say about us, but I think the best thing to happen to the NBA until we get the Sonics back was when Kevin Durant went to Golden State and won those 2 championships. And it was like a middle finger to Oklahoma City. Because we in Seattle hate the Thunder. We were happy to see them get eliminated by the Houston Rockets earlier, too. I mean, I know a lot of people saying things about, Kevin Durant, freaking State. No. It's like this was years in the making for what Clay Bennett did to fucking Seattle.
I get it, but it's still one of the most pussiest moves, in my opinion, in all of sports history. You got a bunch of dudes talking to you and they beefing in your comment section.
Yeah, I know. It's like, dude, come on, just play cool, man. I mean,
they're talking to you.
But yeah, I understand, Michael. I got you, man. It's like, I got you, man. Michael, you did your videos, man. I mean, you deserve every rights to your video, man. I got you, Michael. And then but yeah, I love Michael Mathis is my guy. I mean, he's always, like I said, Matt Hits Media, Michael Mathis should have a job with Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport with how quick he is on it with news. As soon as Adam Schefter and any of those guys first tweet the news, man. That's how on it he is with me. He lets me know right away. And he has some good game streams too, man. He's awesome, man. So make sure y'all go check out Matt Hits Media too, man. He's my dude, man. And then 12-Man Nation, Rain Man and Glove, baby. I missed him too. Root for Portland, LOL. I was awesome when Dame Lillard hit that shot to eliminate the Thunder and did that savage wave to Russell Westbrook, And then at one point in an interview, Damian Lillard said, what else can I say except that was for Seattle?
Did he say that?
Damian Lillard actually said it. That was the year last year when the Raptors won the championship.
Yeah, Sam's still bitter. I know it's been 12 years, but you can tell Sam's still bitter.
But yeah, the cool part about that preseason game when Golden State came back that time in Seattle was Kevin Durant came out wearing a Shawn Kemp jersey in the middle of the Seattle crowd, getting the biggest standing ovation ever. It was pretty awesome. Kevin Durant, he loves Seattle. He didn't want us to go, but he was forced out, So I know what you're saying that too, but look, from a Seattle fan's perspective, can you also look into the Seattle fans' perspective, and you also got to watch the documentary Sonics Gate too. It's a pretty good documentary too. I mean, Gary Payton was ripping Howard Schultz in that too.
I get that, but at the end of the day, the competitor in you should not just sell out and go the easy route, in my opinion, like that.
Yeah, I get that. Oh damn, did Giannis get hurt? I think snap. I think Giannis got hurt.
I think Giannis is one of the most overrated players in the NBA, to be honest with you.
Giannis got hurt. Holy shit, man. Dude, Giannis got fucking hurt. Damn, I got the game on TV right now, you know? But you know something what's crazy is just thinking all those guys Oklahoma City had until they lost them, you know? I mean, Durant won 2 rings. Serge Ibaka won with the Raptors, you know? And then obviously, who else they got? I mean, Russell Westbrook and James Harden are now together in Houston, you know? I mean, they just took – did they beat the – I know they beat the Lakers the first game. What happened in game 2? Did the Lakers win game 2? Or
Game 2 tonight.
Tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, now we went for talking football and basketball at that too. But you know, it's awesome. It's like, you know, that's why we're doing this hangout, because we just love what we do and talking to sports. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm obviously a diehard Chicago Bulls fan, but when they're not in the playoffs, which is a lot of years now.
Yeah.
I like following the Rockets because James Harden's my favorite player, and I know I'm alone because everybody hates him, but I love his game and how he plays.
Klay Thompson gets a lot of love when he came back to Washington too, because he played college ball at Washington State. He was a Cougar. I remember talking to him about if he ever hung out in the bar that recently just closed. I'm sad that Stubblefield shut down in Pullman. I loved going to that place. I practically lived there, my frequent visits, man. I'll tell you what. I even said it when I did my interview with Marcus Trufant, right? Because he went to Washington State. And he said he practically lived in the downstairs of that place. And shout out to the man, DJ Goldfinger, man. That was my guy right there. He always let me skip the line, come inside VIP. And I'll tell you, I was downstairs. I was getting it on that dance floor, even in the cages, too, with the ladies, man. You know, I was getting it.
I hate watching this series because it reminds me about how the Chicago Bulls can't keep anybody good because Jimmy Butler out there balling and leading his team. And, we miss Jimmy Butler. We love Jimmy Butler.
Is Zach LaVine on the Bulls?
Yeah, he's at
Washington. He's from my state. Zach LaVine's from.
He went to Bothell.
Yeah. Zach LaVine's from our state, bro.
He's athletic. He can dunk, blah blah blah, but he can't lead an NBA team. He's not. He's just a piece. He's not a leader.
And let me mention Zach LaVine is a Seahawks fan too. I've heard that too. Zach LaVine is a Seahawks fan too.
Yeah.
And then
you think this is the year Houston can finally break through and get to the finals?
It's possible if they keep playing defense. Their defense is vastly improved. I know, James Harden has been a walking meme about his defense in years past, but he's actually tightened up his defense a lot. Last game, he had like 2-3 steals. He had a block in the game 7 versus OKC. He actually leads the NBA playoffs right now in perimeter steals.
Steals.
Yeah. So James Harden, his defense has gotten a lot better, and that's a big key for the Rockets. It's not about all those threes they shoot, it's about the defense. Can they stop anybody? And we all know the Lakers are top heavy as fuck. All they have is LeBron and AD, and those other guys really don't scare you. Like no one's scared of Alex Caruso, no one's scared of Danny Green, no one's scared of Dwight Howard or Rondo. Like those are just average ass dudes now, and at this point in their careers. So we'll see. It's gonna be interesting tonight. It's gonna be interesting.
104-100 Milwaukee right now. Just hit some threes. But, man, I'll tell you what, when you also look back, I think the Hall of Fame class for the NFL is going to be lit because, it sucks that the 2020 guys didn't get to do their thing because of the pandemic this year because you had Jimmy Johnson in there. You had freaking Troy Polamalu in that mix too. And then who else got in that class this year? It was a pretty big class. You had a couple of first ballot Hall of Famers. And then next year, I know Drew Pearson was frustrated, that Dallas Cowboys receiver. I saw a video where he was mad because he feels he should be. I think now Drew Pearson just took a big step for getting to the Hall of Fame too. It will be interesting. But the reason why I think it'll be cool that if he gets it in 2021 is he was on Peyton's places. Why not put him in the same class with Hall of Fame class with Peyton Manning and Charles Woodson going in as first ballot Hall of Famers this year, And we all know Drew Pearson was famous for the famous Hail Mary catch from Roger Staubach back in the day, too, which was in the old Minnesota Vikings Metropolitan Stadium.
And
wait, until next year?
This year coming up next year's his first year eligible.
Did I tell you about my cousin who played with Peyton Manning in college and played in the pros?
Really?
Yeah, my cousin's Terry Fair.
Terry Fair?
Yeah, he's from He played on the Detroit Lions for several years, and he got traded to the Rams, back then the St. Louis Rams, and he ended up breaking his neck, so he stopped playing. But he played on the Tennessee Volunteers with Peyton Manning same year.
Yeah, there was a couple in our town in Puyallup where, I played against this dude in high school named Joshua Garnett. He got drafted by the 49ers, and then he went to I think now he's with the Washington football team. He was at one point with the with the Detroit Lions, I would have to say, at one point for a little bit. And he was with the 49ers for a little bit because he was drafted by them. There are a lot of Puyallup guys. Like, do you remember Brandon Gibson?
Yeah.
Brandon Gibson went to my high school, Rogers. That was my old high school in Puyallup, which is Rogers. Brandon Gibson was from my my hometown of Puyallup, and he went to my junior high, my high school. I even knew his sister because they had different dads. Sherelle, she's living down in LA, has a kid now, but yeah, Brandon Gibson he played for he was drafted by the Eagles, and he traded to the St. Louis Rams where he finally got a chance, and then he went to the Miami Dolphins and then Patriots. I think he's retired now out of the league. He's always been good about coming back to Puyallup. I think he ran like the Big Blue camp in our area too.
Oh yeah.
And Michael Turner is from the north suburbs of Chicago area, and his brother and me go to the same barbershop and get our haircuts. And I've talked to his brother tons of times about Michael Turner because I'm a huge Michael Turner fan. And he would tell us about how Michael Turner smoked a lot of weed in high school, and he would play game day high as fuck, even in college. And he actually played. They said he played better when he was high, but he had to learn that when he got to the NFL, to not do it anymore. Because obviously they have a drug test in the NFL.
Yeah, my buddy Cameron, he said the Vikings have a lineman that went to Curtis. I remember Curtis is part of the SPSL South, which is what Rogers was in. And I remember, do you know the basketball player Isaiah Thomas?
Of course.
Isaiah Thomas went to Curtis. He was from Curtis High School in our area too. So
I wonder who that lineman on the
he played for the Washington Huskies. And then there was a lineman from the Vikings that actually went to Bethel High School that was from Spanaway, Washington, that got I think it was Ezra Cleveland. Ezra Cleveland went to Bethel High School, and he's from Spanaway. You don't hear Spanaway a lot in any other things, but
no.
I mean, hardly anybody from our small town areas. I mean, Jermaine Kearse I would have to say was pretty successful coming out of Lakes High School. He went to Washington, and obviously he had the spin move touchdown in Super Bowl 48 where he broke the 4 tackles. Oh yeah, let me show you that play. I don't know if you remember that play from Super Bowl 48. Jermaine Kearse's touchdown. Let me show you that one since Jermaine Kearse super touchdown.
And then Calvin Hayden, the cornerback.
Calvin Hayden, yeah.
So one of my buddies, she was dating him back when he was on the Falcons, and when stuff was quiet at work, she'd be on the phone with him, and I'd be like, hey, you talking to Calvin again? And she'd be like, yeah, Jeff, what do you want to ask him? I'm like, yeah, put him on the phone with me. So I'd always bother her and ask her to put her on the phone to talk to Calvin when I would talk to him about the Falcons. He was a pretty cool dude though.
Yeah, watch this play that Kearse made in Super Bowl 48. Can you see the screen?
Yeah. All
right. Here we go. Watch this. So, caught it, break that tackle, whoop, and then pinball. It's like a pinball. Yeah. This is a better angle of it. This was obviously Wilson's first touchdown pass in his Super Bowl debut, and then that was Jermaine Kearse. He's a Lakewood kid, so he's from my area. Because you know how my area is, my area code is 253?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the 253 representing the Super Bowl for Super Bowl 48. Jermaine Kearse is from the 253.
That was helmet to helmet, by the way.
Lakewood, what?
That was helmet to helmet on that play.
By the Denver Bronco guy?
Yeah.
Their tackling was so atrocious in that game.
Yeah.
I've never seen worse tackling than that game.
Yeah. I still remember, even though after you beat us in the playoffs, when you guys blew out the Green Bay Packers in the NFC Championship game, last game in the Georgia Dome. Is there any particular play maybe you might want me to pull up in the stream from your NFC Championship game against the Packers?
That Julio Jones catch is my favorite Julio Jones catch of all time.
Which one? The one against the Packers?
Yeah. He catches it across the middle. He gets flipped upside down on his head by 2 people, and he still makes the catch.
Julio Jones catch, NFC Championship. Julio Jones catch, Julio Jones flip.
Just click that first one. and it's just highlights of him. So I'm sure it's in that game.
Goes off 180 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Select 2020 Volkswagen today.
God, I hate ads, man. I hate those freaking ads, man.
That's how you pay bills, man.
Come buy your Volkswagen dealer today and get 0%
just-
APR financing for 72 months on select 2019 and
damn
2020
ads, man.
models.
It's like, frick. All right, here you go, Jeff. Just for you, man. So this is just 180 yards from the NFC Championship game in 16, right?
Oh yeah, we destroyed them. And every time we beat the Packers, they make so much excuses. Oh, Aaron Rodgers doesn't have help. Aaron Rodgers is injured, blah, blah, blah. But coming up to this game, they said Aaron Rodgers was going to destroy us and we don't have a chance in hell. But just the moment we beat them, it's so many excuses. And I love beating the Green Bay Packers because to me, they're just a bunch of bitches to me. They talk so much shit, but then when we beat them, they have every excuse in the world for Aaron Rodgers' play.
Hey, you guys routed up. Hey, you guys got your revenge on them in that NFC Championship for that 2010 NFC divisional loss when they were a wild card and they came into the Georgia Dome and just blew you guys out of the water.
Yeah.
Remember that year? The 2010 year, you guys were like a #1 seed and they smoked you guys.
Look
at this. Tell me if Michael Thomas can do this. Name me a play where Michael Thomas does any of that. He can't. Michael Thomas is nowhere close to Julio Jones, so it pisses me off when Saints fans are like, he's the best receiver in the NFL. Michael Thomas cannot do what Julio Jones did in this play. He cannot. Period.
Broke 2 tackles right there like it was nothing.
He treated their defense like they're a little boy.
Yeah.
First, that's one.
That's interference, and then
holding, he shakes off one guy. 2, the second guy treats this guy like he's a little girl. Get off me. Third guy, I'm gonna give you a stiff arm just for good measure. Michael Thomas on.
Is this the flip play?
This is it right here.
Wow.
And then just looks up and points down like, get the fuck out of here. Look at that.
He took that like it was nothing.
He took that like it was. I thought he was dead. Look at the slow motion.
The guy went at the knees. And then, oh damn, hit his head in the process, which could have been a concussion any day. And then
still caught it.
Yeah.
Show me Michael Thomas making a catch like this. Show me.
Damn. Hitting my head up. I would be concussed easily if I hit my head on the turf like that, especially if it's turf like that, because that's basically like the turf of Sparks Stadium, which is our high school stadium.
Right.
Which is,
I mean, he came out for one play and came right back in. I mean,
wait, Saints fans all the time say Michael Thomas is better than Julio Jones.
All the time. And in Falcons Nation, we call him Michael Slant Thomas because that's literally all he runs is slants. If you watch all his plays, it's highlights. It's nothing but slants. They just released a video of him in practice, like highlighting he's doing good, and it was a fucking slant. Like that's all he does. Julio runs the entire route tree. Every single route you could think of, Julio runs it. And
I'm gonna let you.
Do you get a lot of
Saints
fans that trash the Falcons all the time?
Oh yeah, it's like human nature.
A lot of the 49ers fans that like to troll the Seahawks.
The hatred is real there. We can't stand the Saints. Everything about them is just, I can't stand them. From Bounty Gate, where they try to hurt people, all the cheating that they do. Sean Payton went to my college, and I can't stand him.
Yeah, for some reason he gets under my skin too. I just don't like him as a coach.
I went to EIU, home of Tony Romo, which is also home of Sean Payton, and no, even people in EIU don't like Sean Payton. No one likes Sean Payton. He's an asshole.
I still remember that catch Julio Jones made in Super Bowl 51 on the sideline in the fourth quarter. That was a great catch.
It was.
It was the game. It was the catch that I thought was going to seal the game, but unfortunately it didn't.
There were so many chances in that game. I mean, the Julian Edelman catch, triple covered, that should have never – that doesn't happen in 1,000,000 to 1 odds ever again.
Slita hates it when where Falcons blame Matt Ryan for that Super Bowl loss.
Yeah, there's actually Falcons fans who blame Matt Ryan as well, and they just I can't stand those fans either. They just don't understand the game. If you've watched that game, that's bullshit. Because anytime I see this is what pisses me off, because when Aaron Rodgers gets sacked or loses a game or throws an interception to lose a game, they're like, oh, he didn't have blocking, he didn't have time, it wasn't his fault. But when Matt Ryan loses a game and I say he didn't have blocking, or he didn't have time or whatever, it's like I can't make that excuse. I know Matt Ryan never gets that benefit of the doubt, but everyone else does, and that should piss me off, because when I say I'm objective, I mean I'm objective, which means if you are going to use the same argument for an Aaron Rodgers for making excuses for him, then my quarterback should be allowed to get that same exact pass, because that's what objective people do. So it pisses me off when Falcons fans blame him for that Super Bowl. That was a team effort loss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you went to the same university that Jimmy Garoppolo went to.
Yeah, also Jimmy Garoppolo. I saw Jimmy Garoppolo play. After I graduated, I went back and I watched him play.
Yeah, me and Sam trolled Jimmy Garoppolo and the Niners after they lost that Super Bowl. We said, hey, Jimmy, it looks like you can't win a Super Bowl without Tom Brady, because he won those two as a backup.
Yeah, so yes, you can't win a Super Bowl without Tom Brady. And then I even at one point trolled him saying you're sure as hell ain't Joe Montana, and you're definitely not Steve Young.
and Jimmy Garoppolo in college was the same way Jimmy Garoppolo is now. Every once in a while he make a great pass, but for the most part, our defense and our run game carried him in games and made him look better than he is. So Jimmy Garoppolo is the exact same way in college that he is right now.
Don't you guys play the Packers in the regular season this year?
Yeah, it's like week 3 or 4.
It's like a Monday night game, isn't it?
Yep.
And you just love sticking it to the Packers because of the fans.
The fans are pretty. The fans are pretty. It's the media that I don't like, because it's like
the fans are
every time we play the Packers, it's Aaron Rodgers is one of the greatest passers we've ever seen. First ballot Hall of Famer. Falcons don't have a chance. I like the man, Aaron Rodgers. Stephen A. Smith, he's a bad man. Aaron Rodgers.
Dallas and I were just saying that on the Game Picks video. We just
and then when we beat them, it's like, well, Aaron Rodgers doesn't have help. That's why they lost the game. Aaron Rodgers doesn't have this. That's why he lost the game. And it's like, no, fuck that. He lost the game because he lost the game.
Yeah, exactly.
I've even seen
excuses for Aaron Rodgers losing.
They make excuses for Aaron Rodgers losing. They make excuses for then they make excuses for Tom Brady losing too, and then also excuses for freaking
Skip Bayless makes every excuse for when Tom Brady loses a big game.
Yeah.
What about
it's Wes Welker? He dropped that pass in Super Bowl 46 that would have iced the game with about 4 minutes left. It's always somebody else's fault. It's never Brady's fault when they lose it. When Brady loses a big time game.
5.
One game Monday night we beat the Packers, and I mean they were talking so much shit before the game. Once we beat them, they were like, well, Aaron Rodgers didn't make any mistakes in this game. The Packers, the defense let him down, blah blah blah. And I'm listening to them. I'm like, Aaron Rodgers threw an interception to Desmond Trufant, and it was clearly his fault. It was a horrible throw, and Trufant picked him off. Like, he made tons of mistakes in that game. But they and then when he gets sacked, they didn't protect him, blah blah blah. But then when Matt Ryan gets sacked, Matt Ryan should know better. He can't take those sacks. That's just bad play on Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan threw that interception. He's playing terrible. Matt Ryan threw a pick. He's playing horrible. They never say that when Aaron Rodgers throws picks. They always have an excuse ready for him to go. And that's the shit I can't stand.
Dude, there's 1.9 seconds left, and this guy's to make a free throw to tie the game. He just missed the first one. It's 107, 106.
It's like the media.
Miami.
Aaron Rodgers
tied the game.
Can do no wrong. It's like they got to prop him up, like ESPN does.
This game might go to overtime, bro. This game might go to overtime with the Heat and the Bucks.
Aaron Rodgers is overrated, in my opinion.
Yeah. And then, I mean, it's like, Aaron Rodgers, I think last year was Aaron Rodgers' best chance of getting back to the Super Bowl. And I think that NFC Championship, I think Aaron Rodgers played in his last NFC Championship game, in my opinion.
Oh, you think he ain't going back?
I don't think he's going back. I think that was his last best chance, even though he didn't have a lot of.
He doesn't really have any help around him now.
Yeah,
you probably hate that excuse too.
Exactly.
I do.
Or
really
just
do.
like when LeBron was like losing. Oh, he doesn't have enough help.
Another thing I hate is like people say incorrectly. They say Matt Ryan had Julio Jones his whole career. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Did I miss the 3 years where he didn't play without Julio Jones and we had Roddy White? Like, did those years not exist? And we took when Michael Vick went to prison and we had a losing ass record. Matt Ryan's rookie year, he took us back to the playoffs. his rookie year with Roddy White. We didn't have no damn Julio. We didn't have Julio Jones the first 3 years of his career.
The year after when Petrino just mailed in his resignation under the the players' doors or whatever.
Yeah.
That was Matt Ryan's rookie year.
Matt Ryan's rookie year is when we lost to the Cardinals.
Oh yeah, when the Cardinals made that Super Bowl run where they lost in dramatic fashion to the Steelers.
Yeah, and then freaking the first game of Matt Ryan's career was against the 0-16 Detroit Lions. And you know what's funny about when you talk about a team that went 0-16, you look at the Lions and then the second team that did it, the 2017 Cleveland Browns. And how fitting would you say one of the Cleveland Browns' 16 losses that year was to the first team that went 0-16, the Detroit Lions? Because the Lions actually beat them during the Browns 0-16 season.
I mean, they're both the same team. I mean, just in different cities.
Detroit might be one of the worst NFL franchises there's ever been.
Yeah, they're poorly run. They don't pay anybody. They've had a good running back in literally forever. DeAndre Swift might be the first one if he can stay healthy, but they might ruin him too. So who knows?
What about
they've ruined Matthew Stafford? I mean, just Matthew Stafford's wasted his career.
And then another poorly modern day ran organization is what Daniel Snyder's doing with the freaking in Washington, man. I mean that, and you see the crazy investigation shit now that he's going under.
Who?
Snyder, the owner of Washington football team.
Oh, yeah. That's a fucked up franchise, man. Where do you start in that franchise?
No.
Paying Albert Hainsworth all that money, and he's a bum.
Yeah,
that big contract they gave to Jonathan McNabb way back in the day, like 10 years ago.
What about Josh Norman recently?
Josh Norman?
Josh Norman's now with the Buffalo Bills, by the way.
Is he?
How much did Washington give Josh Norman?
A lot. They found out real quick that Josh Norman was a product of the Carolina Panthers system. And all those great linebackers the Panthers had covered up Josh Norman. The way they played covered up Josh Norman. He's a zone corner, and Washington required to play more man. And once he went to Washington, he got exposed and just destroyed by all the top receivers.
Washington had a longer Super Bowl drought than the Cowboys and the Niners.
Yeah,
their
Josh Norman is like Namni Osawa, when he went to what was it, the Eagles? In Oakland, they covered him up with great zone play, and then he went to the Eagles and got completely exposed and was terrible. They paid him a ton of money too.
Man, I'll tell you what. Whenever this pandemic and vaccine shit ends, I tell you what. Whenever your team gets a chance to go there, I mean, are you ever having any intentions of going to Vegas or in your Falcons, whatever, to get a game in the Legion Stadium? Because I know I want to go when the Seahawks get a chance to go there, which won't be until freaking 2026 or. I mean, even my dad and I want to go down to Vegas for the hell of it, even if there's a preseason game and wants to get me behind the wheel of a Lamborghini on the racetrack I did the last time when I drove the Ferrari in my senior year of high school.
Oh, yeah.
If I go, I'm not getting in the car with you. I'll tell you that much.
Well, I was on a racetrack. I had a professional drive instructor with me. I smoked a Lamborghini Gallardo going 120 in that Ferrari I drove.
I still ain't getting that damn car. Fuck that.
I mean,
my girlfriend, her one of her brothers actually lives in Seattle. So if I ever go with her to Seattle, maybe I'll hit you up.
If I ever go back to Wisconsin and I decide to go spend a day in Chicago, I know I'm definitely going to have to hit you up so we can meet up and go to some certain areas in Chicago and whatnot, because, I told you about my fandom for hip hop and that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I did the same thing in New York and then LA, with the West Coast. And then, I mean, there are awesome rappers from Atlanta too. I mean, I love T.I. Man. That's one of my personal favorite rappers from Atlanta is T.I. I've seen him live 4 times.
Wait, so Atlanta plays the NFC North this year, don't they?
Yeah, we play the NFC North.
You have them winning against Detroit.
Yes, we're gonna beat the Bears. We're gonna beat Detroit. I think we're gonna lose to the Vikings, and I think we're possibly gonna lose to the Packers.
So split the NFC North.
Correct.
So were they supposed to come to Chicago this year to play the Bears?
Who's the other division you play besides the NFC South?
They play the AFC West.
AFC West, yeah.
AFC West.
Because you were saying how pissed you were that they had the Raiders favored over the Falcons in the original.
Oh, we don't get how in Week 1 the Broncos are a 1.5 point favorite against the Titans. That was a bit of a head scratcher. Maybe because of the altitude in Denver. I don't know. I don't know how Denver's favored in that game.
Yeah, someone did a breakdown. I can't. It was one of these dumbasses on ESPN, and they're saying the Chargers are going to beat us. They have a better offense than us. I'm like, so let me get this straight. Justin Herbert, a rookie, is better than Matt Ryan. The
Chargers.
The wide receiver they have is better than Julio Jones. Austin Eckler is better than Todd Gurley. Is that what you're telling me? I'm like, where are these people getting this stuff from? Like they just make shit up.
Who do you have them beating in the AFC West?
The Raiders, the Chargers. We're gonna lose to the Chiefs, and I have us losing to the Broncos as a trap game.
Wait,
is it at Denver?
I believe so.
See, that's the thing. I mean, we don't.
See, we lost at Denver 2 years ago in the opener. We lost to Case Keenum in the altitude. I mean, the altitude is really high there. It
affected Seabass there. Sebastian Janikowski, his 1 year with us. I remember that. I was pissed.
The Broncos are loaded this year in offense, man. They got tons of weapons everywhere.
Barry Judy, Ken Hamler.
Colin Cowherd says Denver's a wild card team. But I'm not going to go.
They may be loaded in that too, but I'm going to be honest with you and say this. And no offense, Denver fans, but I'm not sold on Drew Lock. I am not sold on Drew Lock.
Oh no, sorry. That game is in Atlanta, so it's possible you can win that game. But I just have it as if you don't know, every year the Falcons have one game where you're like, we lost to a team that we had no business losing to, and every year we have a couple games where we beat the top teams in the league. So it's like sometimes we don't play up to our competition and we lose games where we shouldn't. And then when a big team comes into town and it's a primetime game, that's when we want to show up and beat a big team.
It's happened before in the past too. I mean, we played down to some of our competition in the year that we won the Super Bowl. Like we played down to Arizona and lost that Russell's first home loss in his career against Arizona in the 2013 season. And I remember we lost to Indianapolis. I remember that, but Andrew Luck was pretty good during that time.
I mean, we can't beat Arizona at home. Like 3 of the last, like
it's like they can't beat us there. We can't beat them at home. It's like a couple years that Arizona's been. I mean, last time we beat Arizona at home was 2018. I took Dallas to that game. We all thought Fitz was going to retire and that shit too. When there was a possible rumor about that, which his last game would have been in Seattle, but then obviously he came back. Which obviously you already heard me saying my praise for Fitzgerald, but how he'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and what we were mentioning about some of these other guys that didn't win a Super Bowl and that too. You know, I mean, another guy that didn't win a Super Bowl who was a legend for us, obviously the great Steve Largent. You know?
Oh yeah,
Steve Largent.
That's the baddest white boy to ever play football at wide receiver.
Yeah, and you ever see his revenge shit on Mike Harden?
No.
You want to see that? You want me to pull it up and screen share? Now, keep in mind, I do not own any copyrights to it, so just got to say that shit, really quick, so that way YouTube does a thing, but, it's like...
You gotta mute it and you gotta talk over it.
Yeah, I'm going to... All right, I'll mute it. All right, so let me just pull the screen share up again. Sorry about that. Chrome tab, blah, 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 all that crap. And I'll just mute the audio right here. So is that better? Mute the audio?
Yeah.
All right.
Just so you know, if you want to make future videos with clips in it from the Seahawks, the ways around copyright claims, put it in an overlay with you in the video and they can't copyright it. Take the sound off and put like music in the background like I have in my videos, and just talk throughout your videos and keep the video up, but you have to be in the screen with it and put your thing on mute, and then they won't copyright claim your videos.
Oh shoot, really?
Yeah. All
right, so I could just play it like this and just like with the sound off. All right, so watch this. All right. Let me just mute it right here, real life. I know I got the audio mute, but watch this. All right. So he gets the interception right, and then he's going back. Watch that right here, and out of nowhere, boom. Boom! Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he just lit him the fuck up too. And then basically there was a penalty flag on Denver. So basically, I mean, we got the ball back on that too.
To be honest, I like those jerseys better.
Yeah, I want to see the Seahawks wear those throwbacks. Those throwbacks were awesome, but Largent just came out of nowhere and lit Mike Harden's shit the fuck up. I just didn't know. I wasn't alive for that game, but while we look at the highlights of that, I was like, oh, damn. And because Mike Harden knocked Largent out cold some odd weeks ago before that. And then he got his revenge shot when he got the interception. It was like, oh, and they said on Steve Largent's Football Life, it's like, Steve has good karma. He has good karma.
Were you a big Sean Alexander fan?
I've met him a few times, and the year we went to the Super Bowl, my buddy Big Low, who actually got to go to the Super Bowl, got to talk to him, and then he signed a mini Super Bowl 40 helmet for me, and he wrote something on there that he never writes to anybody else, but he wrote his autograph. He put to Sam Dogg, and he put his signature, and he wrote MVP for 2005, and he never ever did that for any other autographs that he signed. But in my honest opinion, though, I mean, I'd like what he's doing his family and that too, off of football and that too, but I think, in all honesty, for 05, the real MVP, and I've said it before in past videos, the real MVP of that season was the offensive line with Walter Jones and Steve Hutchinson. Steve Hutchinson was going to be in the 2020 Hall of Fame class. He was supposed to be in the Hall of Fame class this year too, which obviously he'll have to speak next year. I'm anxious to see Steve Hutchinson speak, especially I liked who we chose to present him, which was the center from our team, which I think he chose freaking who did freaking Steve Hutchinson choose as his presenter? I know it was I think he chose Robbie Toback.
Oh, yeah, Robbie Toback.
Yeah, he chose Robbie Toback, I think.
I remember back when Sean Alexander was doing his thing. I tried trading Peyton Manning and a running back for Sean Alexander straight up, and like they wouldn't give it to me. And I offered like 5 guys in a trade just for Sean Alexander, and they still wouldn't give it to me. He was killing it in a fantasy. Didn't he have like a touchdown record one year? What? Didn't he have like a touchdown record one year?
Yeah, which was then broken by LaDainian Tomlinson.
Oh, right. Okay, that's right.
Yeah, the LT record, and it's just, yeah, I really think, in my opinion, if you ask
another guy who didn't win a ring.
But yeah, if you ask me my opinion on it, I always say the real MVP of that year was the offensive line with Jones and Hutchinson. You got those two guys going to the Hall of Fame. I mean, you already had Jones. Jones went to the Hall of Fame. He just got put in the night before we won Super Bowl 48. And I'm good friends with Walter Jones. I got Walter Jones on YouTube videos of my own too, like talking with him. Dallas would even tell you, because we've seen him at the last ever Seattle Mist LFL game when they won the Legends Cup, and Walter Jones did the coin toss. Remember?
Yeah, I saw him and I told him I like his work on Seahawks Game Day as an analyst, because he's like an analyst for the team now.
And then also I introduced him, and before our run to Super Bowl 48, we were at a Mist game, and Cam Chancellor was there, and Cam used a picture of me and him from that same Mist game as a Throwback Thursday 4 days before we won the Super Bowl. Yo, what's up, man? You good?
Yeah, I'm reading something.
Are you also checking on the game, the Bucks and the Heat game right now?
No, I was gonna bring up because you was talking about the offensive line, and I was gonna bring up that Max Unger trade
to Jimmy Graham. Yeah,
I think that trade killed you guys.
Yeah, I hated getting up Max Unger for that. I wish we'd never given up. Granted, Jimmy Graham did his all for us too. He went to the Pro Bowl twice with us, but I really wish we had never traded Max Unger. I hated that.
I'm sorry, Seahawks fans, but I'm a little pissed off at you for that trade, because you gave him to the damn Saints.
Yeah.
And right after that trade, the Saints started winning games, protecting Drew Brees. They all of a sudden could run the football. Their whole offense took off the moment Max Unger came on the team, because we couldn't get past this guy. And I didn't know, obviously I'm not going to watch the game, so I didn't know at the time how good Max Unger was. So I was like, oh, why did the Saints get rid of their, Jimmy Graham? He's a good tight end.
I hated the fact that he got rid of.
And then I saw Max Unger play, and I'm like, oh shit, this is why they got rid of his ass.
Yeah, Max Unger got hurt a couple of years with us too. I hated getting rid of Unger, because Unger was a great center for us. Max Unger was part of the reason why Marshawn Lynch was able to break off so many of those big runs. I think he was even on there when the Beastquake happened too. But regardless of, he just recently retired. I think after 2019. I think before 2019, and I did a little video thanking him for his contributions for the Seahawks. He played most of his years with the Seahawks, and he won his Super Bowl ring with us. It's like, looking back on it, I didn't want to get rid of Max. As much as grateful as I was to Jimmy Graham's contributions on offense, especially in the red zone for us with Russell Wilson, as grateful as I was for it, he wasn't a great blocker in that too. And plus, I actually did get to meet Jimmy Graham too. He was actually a pretty cool person to talk to. So, sometimes you meet players and then you think about freaking that. Hey, Jeremy Edwin, I told you Anthony Gordon wasn't going to be on the team for the backup. I hate to say it, but I told you so on that one.
Well, with Jimmy Graham, it's also about Sean Payton, the system of the Saints. That's why he looks so good. It wasn't because of Jimmy Graham.
Yeah,
and you know that the Seahawks play a different style of offense, and that doesn't fit Jimmy Graham. They just want him solely for red zone, and what's that going to do for you when the rest of the offense is running Marshawn Lynch?
Look at the comments, man. Look, no disrespect, Jeremy Edwin. I know you're a Cougar homer and all that stuff for Cougars, but let's be real. Anthony Gordon was never going to take the spot of Russell Wilson. Heck, my buddy Adam Axelson, shout out to him. He played with Anthony Gordon with the Seahawks on Madden, and Anthony Gordon sucked dick on Madden. Anthony Gordon fucking sucked on Madden. Anthony Gordon played for the Washington State Cougars in college. Last year we got him undrafted. He was like some ratings behind like Joe Burrow and that too. And this guy thinks he's going to take Russell Wilson's job. I mean, nah, man. Russell Wilson, you don't freaking replace a Hall of Famer, a future Hall of Famer like Russell Wilson like that. You know, I mean, plus there's a reason. And then my buddy Adam switched Anthony Gordon out with Geno Smith, and Geno Smith had a pretty high passer rating with him in that game with the freaking he threw like a bomb to DK Metcalf on a play for a touchdown on freaking Madden, and Geno Smith was better than Anthony Gordon. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, this game went to overtime, bro.
Yeah, I know. That's what I told you earlier.
Oh, 2-point game.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, do you agree with me on that? Would you say with what Russell Wilson has done in the NFL, the numbers he's put up, that he will be a Hall of Famer in the future?
Obviously.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about the future is because there's a possibility Russell Wilson would one day go to freaking, I don't know if he would go to another team one of these days, but I know he made his home here. He's part ownership of the Seattle Sounders FC team, the soccer team. And he's always on Tuesdays and that too. He would always go visit sick kids in the Seattle Children's Hospital too. So he's really done a lot of.
Hey, put this Jeremy guy on timeout. If Eric Gordon goes to ATL, he will take Matt Ryan's job easily. Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
Yeah, there's no way he's taking Matty Ice's job.
That guy's a Cougar homer?
Yeah, that's what one of my guys said.
Gardner Minshew is better than Anthony Gordon.
Gardner Minshew is way better than Anthony Gordon. And he's
last year on our down year, Matt Ryan finished 4th in the NFL in passing. What the fuck is this guy talking about? He's like, just take his job. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, and then, of course, the year you guys went to the Super Bowl, you had Chris Chandler from UW. That year you went to the Super Bowl when you lost to Denver, too. The amazing
we didn't have a prayer in hell. The Broncos were stacked that game.
You guys pulled that upset up over the Minnesota Vikings in that 98 NFC Championship game.
Yeah, Tell me you missed the kick, man. They should have beat us that game, but they didn't. Oh well.
Gary Anderson.
And then you have Hall of Fame kicker Morton Anderson, who you got in free agency when he left the Saints. Morton Anderson, man, his all-time scoring record was broken by the great Adam Vinatieri. Now, I know people think a lot for like a kicker. Now Adam Vinatieri is a free agent. At this point, Vinatieri needs to retire. But if I'm going to say one of the greatest clutch kickers of all time, that I would make an exception for to make a first ballot Hall of Famer, Adam Vinatieri is at the top of my list for a kicker to be a first ballot Hall of Famer with the clutch kicks he made. Even in the snow in the freaking Tuck Rule game.
Yeah, he's won Tom Brady a Super Bowl. And he's won him a really hard playoff game in the snow.
And then obviously he won, and then he also won that Super Bowl with the freaking. He even won that Super Bowl with Peyton Manning in Super Bowl 41. And I mean, the guy has 4 Super Bowl rings, and you can even make the argument he's one of the greatest undrafted players of all time. He was undrafted.
I also want to shout out to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for giving up on Matt Money Bryant, who became one of our best kickers forever, and he's a Hall of Fame kicker.
I was never big on Shaquem Griffin anyway, Jeremy Edwin.
And since the Buccaneers got rid of Matt Bryant, they've gone through like 12 kickers.
12 kickers. Oh, dang, Miami.
They just cut their kicker again. They can't find a kicker that they believe in anymore.
Wait, what did they cut this time?
Fucking what's his name? Matt Gay. They just cut him.
He costed them against us in the home game.
He missed a field goal before half last year. That would have put him up 11.
Every year they seem to get a new kicker because they can't find a replacement for Matt Bryant, who they gave up on him for us. So appreciate that, Buccaneers.
Matt Bryant, I think, missed a couple field goals
against
last
us
year.
Yeah, that's why we got rid of him, because he's old and he tore his groin on a kick for us to win a game. That's the kind of guts Matt Bryant has. He was already hurt, and he went out there and kicked a game-winning field goal with a torn groin.
You guys should sign Hauschka. He's out there now.
Yeah, Steven Hauschka's a free agent.
No, we have young too. He's great.
You guys tried out
Blair
Blair
Walsh.
Walsh, and he's still been out of the league for 3 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't work. No, we have a kicker now. We have Younghoe Koo, the guy from the Chargers.
Yeah.
They
He sucked with the Chargers, and then he revitalized himself in Atlanta with the Atlanta Legends in the AAF for a little bit. I can't believe he actually got another chance through that,
The
too.
debunked AAF.
He actually got famous on YouTube for making trick shots.
Yeah, I think I saw that once. And
That's how you got a tryout.
you should look at this crazy dude that I've known since high school. His name's Ramel Dockery, and he's doing a video making a bunch of crazy ass catches, like doing flips and that. I think his name is the real Ramel. Let me pull it up really quick with freaking Ramel Dockery. He's a friend of I played him in high school. He went to Wazoo for a little bit, and then he was on Oregon State, but he's a really cool dude. I mean, when I made trips to Pullman, I loved Ramel. He was a cool dude. All right. Ramel Dockery. See, like, it's just Doc. Oh, yeah.
Jeremy said the Seahawks should trade Russell Wilson.
He's got freaking 502K subscribers. It's my buddy Ramel Dockery, man.
Read what Jeremy just wrote.
Yeah, it's like this dude is freaking like. I remember when he did that thing, and then a bunch of people freaking were like flaming him for.
Oh yeah, he played for Oregon State. I forgot.
Yeah, he went to go play with Oregon State, and this dude's like making like highlight flip catches, and he actually had a session with Odell Beckham Jr. recently.
12-man nation. AP went to the Lions.
Yeah, I know that. I did the video this morning. Yeah, let's see if there's like
this Jeremy dude has to be trolling because there's no way in hell he believes the Seahawks should trade Russell Wilson.
Yeah. No way. I mean, we signed him to that deal too, and then who knows? We could restructure the contract years later too. But it's like sometimes it's like he said Anthony Gordon replaced. I was like, nah, never mind. It's like that ain't gonna happen, you know? Yeah. See if I can find some good videos of. Yeah,
I knew Wilson was gonna be good when he played in Wisconsin.
Watch this. Can you see the? Oh wait, did I get the share screen on? All right. Whoops. Let me show you. That's my buddy right there. He's kind of part Hawaiian. He would do like some crazy catches. That's in the Stadium Bowl in Tacoma.
Kind of looks like Tua.
Yeah, but he's also made some did some catches in the Stadium Bowl. He's known as Real Dockery on that too. It's Snapchat sub doc, but he would do like some crazy shit. If I knew what video I would click on to find on there, he was like doing backflips. So shout out to Ramel Dockery. I mean, he killed us when he was at Curtis High School on a fake punt once in the first weekend of my freaking when I played my varsity year, which I was a linebacker. You know, I played for the love of the game. Wasn't started, but I'll tell you what, it's like I did have some plays though too. At one point, I made a tackle against Kentridge in my senior year, and I actually me and my buddy Raymond Beltran, I did the Ray Lewis thing and almost got flagged for. I did the just the end part of that where he looks up, does the scream, right? So I freaking just like did that shit, and it was funny as I mean, it's like okay, I'm like what? I made a tackle. It's like on my varsity, like I wanted to have some fun with it.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah. And then he's freaking Jeremy just said, you think ATL wins 5 games this season? I mean, dude, if you look at his prediction video, he said Atlanta. He's trying to take. He made his prediction,
bro. Ain't no point of feeding the troll. I don't feed trolls, bro.
Yeah, at this point, we might as well just continue the stream and just go on with just like normal. And just if we get awesome people talking in this, we just just collaborate. I mean, talk on that, but.
What we're doing is something a lot of Falcons other content creators won't do, which is cross enemy lines and talk to other teams. Because I have no problem doing that.
What's up, Noah Bolter? Got Bolter in here. What's up, Noah?
Hey, get Bolter in this damn stream.
Well, I don't want to put like the freaking thing out there because like in random people on there into the thing.
Okay.
Like I don't know if he's still busy at Wazoo and whatnot too because he's going to school out there too.
You can't text him?
Nah, man, I ain't got
you got private chat on here, bro.
Private chat.
You see the tab?
No. Where's it at?
It's right next to comments.
Right next to comments. Private chat. Oh, where's Noah at?
Somehow you gotta get him. I don't know how you click it.
Damn, it's like I gotta get Noah. All right, I got the freaking thing on there. It's like No, it won't let me do any of the stuff in there. So like,
ask Noah, can you private chat Sam Dog? Because that way he can see you. Then you can he can send you the link if you want to join.
Yeah, I just put that right there in the message right there. Yeah, that way I can do that too.
You want to talk about graphics and stuff for a channel? That Noah dude deserves way more subscribers than he has
right now.
The amount of detail that goes into his shit is ridiculous. Have you seen his channel?
Yeah. I mean, you're asking Dallas if you've seen his channel.
Well, any of you guys, yeah.
I have not seen his channel.
Yeah, Noah's pretty good with, just what he does.
He does this like trivia thing with Seahawk, kind of like Norbcam. He does this trivia thing, and it's pretty cool, you know.
Yeah, he is pretty cool. And I think he just did his fantasy draft recently. Speaking of which, I think in 30 minutes, Norb's going on with Sleeta. Yeah. I mean, it's like Noah. James? What's up, James Glenn? How you doing, James? James, what up, man? Yeah, look. Hey, look, I got no disrespect for what Gordon did at Washington State and all that stuff too, but if he didn't clear the waivers and that too, it's like there's no way there's no way he can replace a future Hall of Famer like Russell Wilson. It's like I'm gonna get set up in his. He said he's gonna get set up in his room really quick. Noah, you gotta freaking private message me. You gotta private chat me. I gotta hit the bathroom really quick. Dallas, you and Dallas want to keep everyone busy for a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, go ahead, Dallas.
How much longer do you think you have on this?
10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Okay.
I want to eat something and watch the other game.
Yeah, we've been on here for almost 2 hours. Yeah,
me and Sandal, we go for 2 hours all the time. I don't know.
Wait, do you live in Atlanta?
No, I'm from the Chicagoland area.
Yeah, he was telling me on the phone a couple of days. You're the Chicago fan or from Chicago that's a Falcons fan.
Right.
So does your dad still bring up that Super Bowl they won in 1985?
Oh, all the time. I mean, my dad is a realistic Bears fan. He talks so much shit about his own team. He yells at the TV, you know.
So you really want the Falcons to beat the Bears this year?
There's a lot of trash talking. But my family and my friends are realistic. They're not like, hey, the Bears are going to win the Super Bowl. They know that Trubisky sucks. They know they messed up and they should have took Watson and Mahomes. They know that. So they don't really see a future right now with the Bears as long as Trubisky's on the team.
How long do you think it'll be before they replace him as Foles?
My buddy Michael Mathis said give it till week 3 give it till week 3 when they're asking to bench Trubisky for Foles. I say so. I'm gonna side with Michael and possibly say week 3.
I think we'll pick the Bears to win. Wait, we picked them against the Lions.
We picked them against the Lions.
They play the Giants after that. I think we'll pick them against the Giants.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the Bears for you. They don't sign a Cam Newton or another better free agent.
Yeah.
And they go ahead and sign Nick Foles. They pay him more money, and then they come out and say, "Oh, he's a backup and Trubisky's a star." So why did you pay him all that money then? You could have got a cheaper backup who's actually better. This is what the Bears do. The Bears had Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes in their draft,
sitting on their lap, and round their lap,
in their lap, and they pass up on them. They trade up for Mitchell Trubisky. Makes no sense.
It was fun. I was at a draft party at CenturyLink Field in the event center, and Brock Heward and them were hosting something. I even shouted out when the Bears. I randomly said the Bears just traded up for Trubisky when it happened before, and I was taking. And this was just a guess at that point. Some people think he traded up for Deshaun Watson or Patrick Mahomes in that too. And I just remember saying, I was like, they trade up for. I said, this is for Trubisky. Watch, this is for Trubisky, and sure enough, it was for Trubisky.
And then if you remember the whole Alex Smith, Aaron Rodgers thing, and debating who's going to go first. Obviously Alex Smith went first, and Aaron Rodgers started to slide. The Bears could have had Aaron Rodgers as well, but they took
the 49ers could have had Aaron Rodgers.
Benson instead.
The 49ers made. Sure, Alex Smith was great for them, but they made the big mistake. The 49ers made the biggest mistake passing on Aaron Rodgers.
Well, if you look at college alone, actually Alex Smith had a better college career, but he wasn't a better player. He had a better team around him.
At Utah. And then, also in college, who Aaron Rodgers had at running back in college at Cal?
Who?
He had Marshawn Lynch and Justin Forsett. He had Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers had Marshawn Lynch, man, at Cal.
Yeah, the Bears haven't had a real good quarterback since Jim McMahon.
And then, of course, there was Rex Grossman who took him to the Super Bowl. But let's be real,
that was the defense that took him to that Super Bowl.
That was the defense of Thomas Jones, and they should have won that game. They started off with a
Devin Hester takes the freaking kickoff for the touchdown.
Rex Grossman might be the worst starting quarterback to ever start in the Super Bowl. That and maybe I don't know, Kerry Collins.
Jamal Bolton says private message on YouTube. I'm not sure how.
You don't have Twitter. I can talk to him on Twitter.
Yeah, talk to him on Twitter and maybe send him the link. Send him the link.
Email me the link, and then I'll copy and paste it in his Twitter.
The link's in your email. I emailed before you did the thing. So send Noah the link.
Yeah, and Trubisky didn't even play a full season starting for North Carolina. His stats weren't that good. And you have Deshaun Watson, who's a national championship winner. And he's good. And you don't take him. It makes I don't know.
You got it? You got him on sending him the link?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was dumb when they let Lovie Smith just walk out. I can't believe they fired Lovie Smith.
The Bucks and the Heat are going to Game 5, so I think the Heat will probably close it in Game 5. Ooh, we've been going for an hour 55, man. And
hey, Noah, check your Twitter and get your ass in here, bro.
Yeah, Noah, check your Twitter. I don't even have Twitter, by the way, so I never really got big on that Twitter game.
Old Man Nation says biggest bust of the decade. Who do you think?
Biggest bust of the decade for us, I would say it was Malik McDowell.
Oh, wait, 12 Man Nation. Do you mean like in the entire NFL or on our teams alone?
I think Aaron Curry was drafted in 2000. I think it was 10.
He was such a bust.
Malik
McDowell because he never got on the field.
Device is not connected. Squabo. There he is. What's up, Bolt?
What's going on, folks? You caught me on a Sunday afternoon watching some basketball, man.
We were watching. We just had a Heat game on as well. Now it looks like it's going to Game 5. Hey, Noah, have you ever met my buddy Dallas? This is my buddy Dallas Stewart, by the way. We do the game picks together weekly.
I haven't, brother. It's my pleasure to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Hat too. How you doing over there, Jazzy Jeff, man? What's good with you, brother?
Hey, man, I'm doing good, man. We over here trying to get you subscribers. You deserve it.
7.
God bless you, man. I greatly appreciate it, man.
Another first round exit for OKC.
Yeah. So what's going on, Noah? Anything?
Oh, Jeremy, best NBA fans are OKC. They're the most bandwagon fans.
So Noah, what else is going on, man? Anything big with Norb lately? I know he's doing a thing with Jazzy. I mean, not with Jazz, with Sleeta at freaking 4:00, man. He was going live with Sleeta, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, he's going live with Sleeta at 4 today. They got a little bet going on, a little wager with the game.
Pain.
I got a little wager with Sleeta coming up when we do our collab on Thursday. Are you guys gonna? Because I heard you guys were gonna be there on the one on Wednesday. Are you guys gonna make it?
Wednesday got canceled. He moved it to Thursday because of that. I'm gonna be in Thursday until the kickoff game starts. I'm gonna be in because I want to watch the Texans versus the Chiefs game. I'm gonna be in there until. Yeah, Aaron Curry was 2009.
Yeah, Aaron Curry was a bust.
Yeah, I want to be in there for a little bit for the amount of time we got with the because I was thinking about possibly going live to react to the kickoff game, but I might not go live for that. It's really on me, but
yeah,
I figured just going on with Sleeta would be cool. Our bet is if we win, then Sleeta has to smoke a cigar, and then if Jazzy Jeff and the Falcons win, then I have to drink a Coors Light on a video. That's basically our thing. I mean, but I'm just happy. Like I mentioned earlier, with Sleeta was so happy about the way that me and Jeff were able to link up and then do our thing, and then a bunch of Seahawk fans on my channel came in there showing Jeff some love. It was awesome what we were able to hook up for Jeff too, and then obviously Noah and Norb, and then when you guys came on my 1K celebration stream, even though I was. Now, keep in mind, I don't do cigars often. Just keep that in mind. It was a special occasion.
Yeah, but you know how to have a good time, though. That's what I like. That's what
I
like.
I was sitting in a dope Lamborghini last night, if you saw that on my thing. I was in a Lamborghini at the bar I like to hang out at. And usually I would be going to those meets at Redmond Town Center, man, in freaking Redmond. And because of the coronavirus, we never got the car meets this year.
Oh, man.
And I was one of the subscribers that helped him start this journey on YouTube.
Dallas basically started with the game. Dallas and I started with game picks, and we did some previews. And me and Dallas have a bunch of entertaining stuff to say when we do our game picks, and we like to have a little fun with it. Like if there was like bad teams, we were talking about sewage bowl, tank bowl, or dumpster bowl.
Call the Redskins the Deadskins.
When the Redskins played the Dolphins for like their freaking epic tank for Tua.
Or when it's a blowout in red zone, and we're like, I'll put that check mark.
Yeah, we say put the check mark in every time we freaking Seahawks signed DeAndre Walker. I don't know if that's big of a signing right there.
Hey, Squad Boy, what do you think about week 1?
Come on. And we're going to be better than 8-8. I hate to tell you that.
I wanted to ask Squad Boy what he thinks about week 1 and what his predictions are for week 1.
Yeah. Hey, Squabo, my buddy Michael Mathis just came in mad at me and said that we signed DeAndre Walker. Did you hear about that yet?
I did not hear about that.
Engraven Bids is in the chat. Engraven Bids, what's up, man? Engraven Bids is in the chat. I can't believe it, man. Can we get him? Can we please let Engraven in the chat?
Engraven Raven?
Engraven Vids. Yeah, Engraven. Can we let Engraven come in here? Engraven, can you tell me you're still in here? I want you in this, man. He's one of the most subscriber people I've ever had come in the chat, man.
He said, what's up, my squabbies?
No,
yes,
Engraven,
sir.
Can we please get Engraven in here? Even though I gotta put the link in there, I want Engraven in this freaking video. Oh my God, I want to.
But Jazzy though, I wanted to. I'm really nervous about this game for Seattle, and that's just full honesty here because
really
Atlanta's one of those teams. Well, yes, when they're down, they have down years. It seems like every other year they have a really good year, and last year was their down year. So I feel like this year,
Engraven, hit the link.
Todd Gurley has had his injuries staying consistently on the field, but he's fresh coming into this season. There wasn't a preseason.
Michael Mathis, hit the link too.
I think Todd Gurley is, if not going to have an impact throughout the entire year, I definitely think he has one early,
Michael,
which obviously counts for our
Engraven, hit the link.
I really think Atlanta's going to be a good team this year. I think this game is down to the wire. I think. Atlanta's used to playing when pumping in crowd noise, so they might have an edge there. So,
I always tell people do the opposite of what Colin Cowherd says because in 2016 he said we're gonna be trash, we're not gonna make the playoffs. We ended up making the Super Bowl. Then in 2017 he says Super Bowl hangover, we ain't gonna make the playoffs. We end up going to divisional round and beating the Rams in their home field. And then 2018 he says the Falcons are going to bounce back. That's my pick. And then we end up not making the playoffs. So
is Engraven trying to jump in the chat, jump in the video yet? I would like to get Engraven jumping in here yet. So hold up. I got a text from Anish Kumar. My buddy Anish, he said, Lyndon Stevens is the roster casualty for DeAndre Walker. The Seahawks will likely try to get him back on the practice squad. Stevens had a nice training camps. That text is Joe Fan, which is Brian Nemhauser retweeted. Engraven said, give him a minute. Oh, Michael, and I got to introduce you to this guy right here. Michael, get your device connected, man. Come on, Michael. Get your device connected, man. This is the guy that I said earlier could be a freaking deserves a job with freaking with Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport. Welcome to the chat, Mr. Michael Mathis. Mr. Michael Mathis, how you doing, man? Michael, speak up, man.
His connection's messed up.
I don't know. Hey, Michael, can you hear me? Michael, speak up, man. See if you can put the mic down to your mouth, Michael. Oh yeah, I gotta just get this thing with Jazzy Jeff with Graven. He said give himself a minute and just gotta hide the comment. Michael, can you hear me, man? I think Michael might have to disconnect the scene and try to get back in there. I think he's having some technical difficulties, but
no, Squabble. I think we'll know early when I gotta see the run game of the Seahawks. That's how I know if we're in trouble or not. If y'all come out the gates running down our throats, then I'm gonna be concerned because we all know that. I was telling Sam Dog the Seahawks like to run the ball, lull you to sleep, and then they're gonna take that one deep shot to lock it, and that's the one deep shot you gotta be prepared for. So if we can stop the run, I think we'll be okay. But if we can't, I know that shot is coming, and we gotta be ready for that.
And like I mentioned to Jazzy Jeff earlier, Noah, from the last few times we played, like the teams that won the turnover battle were in those matchups were the ones that won the game. And the last times that we were able to beat them was because we won the turnover battle. And the other time they beat us in the playoffs, like the freaking with the safety in that from 2016 was the turnover battle thing too.
You know, you guys both bring up great points. Jazzy Jeff, obviously I saw your video breaking down your keys to the game, and I really like the keys that you put forward. I think you're spot on with the run game. I think one thing that could be a factor that from a Seahawks perspective, like it's even hard for us to predict, right? Because we're trying to look forward and predict what's going to happen, what's going to change on this team. It's hard for us to do. So I can't even imagine how difficult it is for a team, for a fan of another team. So what I would say about Seattle that potentially could change this year that hasn't been this way for Seattle in the past. And the reason that I say it could change is because of the people putting pressure on Pete Carroll and the play caller, Brian Schottenheimer. You remember because the late, great Paul Allen has passed. So who's the one putting pressure on Pete to change the offense? I think you look at the comments that Russell Wilson has recently made as a reason why we might come out a little bit more aggressive than as conservative as we've been in the past. Like, I understand we are still going to establish the run. That's a part of our game regardless. No matter what, we are going to at least try and run the football. But what I'm saying is I think there are going to be certain plays where because of Russell Wilson's comments where essentially he was asking us to speed things up, he wants to take more shots. He wants to be more aggressive. And last time he said he wanted something, he said he wanted a superstar, and the Seahawks traded for Jamal Adams. So obviously they're listening to him. I could see Seattle in this game earlier than normal, especially with no fans, coming out a little bit more aggressively. As I was saying in the chat, let Russ cook. I could see Russell Wilson slinging it out a little bit earlier, and I hope to see that. But regardless, if the run game gets going, the pass game is always going to be there. So if you want to keep us one-dimensional, you're definitely going to have to stop the run.
Exactly. Oh, Matt Hits Media is back. Michael, how's your audio?
That's better. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, 1 second. Can you guys hear me?
Yep, Jazzy Jeff, this is Michael Mathis, the one I said that needs to have the job with Adam Schefter, man, because of how on it he's on it, man, with the moves and that, too. Jazzy Jeff, Michael Mathis, and you already know Dallas.
Yeah, met him.
And then you got Noah right over here. That's Noah as well. Noah's he's been on with NorCam. Yep, that's Matt Hits Media. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do on your thing with the Madden highlights and all that stuff, Michael?
Well, I haven't uploaded in a while, but when I do, I tend to upload a lot of my Rocket League footage. I have one montage on my channel currently with my 3 subscribers. But I work with Mr. Sam Dogg here, and it's nice to meet all of you guys.
Yeah,
my pleasure.
Yeah, and Jazzy, as I mentioned, Jazzy Jeff, he's that Falcons fan I told you about from Chicago, man. And then, and Michael Mathis. I remember some of the craziest, I think one of the craziest videos we had. You said you were doing yard work with your dad when the Jamal Adams trade happened, remember?
Dude, I had to do yard work, but it was kind of funny because you called me when I was taking a nap, and the first time I just ignored it because I was too tired to pick up my phone. But then you called again. I'm like, okay, something happened here. And then the way you phrased it was fantastic. You're like, Michael, stay on the line. We're doing a video right now. And I'm like, what happened? He's like, you'll find out in a second. What the fuck, everybody? Sam Dogg the 5'3". And you saw how he opened that video up. It was just, he was ecstatic, and so was I. Like, I didn't even know the details of the trade yet because I had just woken up and I was groggy.
It was hilarious.
But all I heard was Seahawks traded for Jamal Adams, and he said something to the effect of like, bye Bradley McDougald. And I was like, okay, so what did we give up for him? And it was like 2 first-round picks and Bradley McDougald, I think.
It means bye Bradley McDougald, but it sucks about that because I liked him from the times I talked to them. But then when we talked about what we gave up, and then you had to go because you had to do the yard work, and then like give me your thoughts really quick. You're like, it's crazy as hell. It was crazy as hell.
Yeah, dude, that was wild. And I think that's actually the biggest reason why we're not signing Clowney, because signing both Jamal Adams and Clowney long term doesn't seem very viable when you're signing Shaquille Griffin next year as well. And I think a few other people, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
They're not as big. Yep.
Squabble, any thoughts?
I don't know if Jamal Adams is the main reason that we're not going after Clowney. I actually, I've been off the Clowney train for a while now. And when asked by Norb who I'd rather have in Seattle when Everson Griffin was still available and Clowney was available, Clowney or Griffin, I said Griffin because we don't need as much help in the run game as we do getting to the quarterback and getting those sack numbers. So even though all-around players, Davion Clowney is better than Everson Griffin, he's younger than Everson Griffin, regardless, I would have still preferred Everson Griffin because we need a guy to get to the quarterback. Now, I'm not saying that we successfully brought in a whole bunch of great guys that get into the quarterback. What I think Seattle looks like, and it's proven to be a successful formula, I think our defensive line is very similar to the Miami Heat in basketball. There's not like one guy that's going to necessarily give it to them every single game, but there are guys that are going to show up consistently, and there are guys that are on a night-to-night basis, week-to-week basis, matchup versus matchup basis, are going to step forward and have big games based on how offenses align their coverages and scheme their blocks. So I think for Seattle, it's really going to be a rush by committee, if you will, getting to the quarterback. Last year as a team, defensively, we only had 27 sacks. Well, over this offseason with Jamal Adams, Benson Mayowa, and Bruce Irvin, we brought in 22 and a half. So if that speaks any volumes towards how our sacks going to be this year, hopefully it's going to be very good. But
and
we'll have to wait and see.
Both Bruce and Mayowa both had close to 8 sacks in their respective teams last year in Oakland and Carolina. And then also another thing, and me and Michael touched up on this once the trade happened, is like we're anxious to see how Jamal Adams and Quandre Diggs are going to form in that freaking as a safety tandem in freaking Seattle. I think that's one of the things we're most excited about. And Michael Mathis was the one, after we lost to Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, when we made the trade for Quandre Diggs. We had the crazy reaction to the Quandre Diggs trade, and we had a bunch of people comment on that video from Detroit because we weren't so sure about it. And it's all of a sudden, the funniest comment on that video was when this Lions fan came up saying, "Lions fan here, we hate this trade." Remember that, Michael? Michael, you remember that?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I looked at the Lions subreddit because they just basically traded a team captain at the time. So that's a pretty massive trade. What was I going to say? To kind of add on to, I was going to say what 12th Man Nation just said there. We've made some improvements to the secondary to top off of what Squabo said. So we have the good pass rush additions like Mayowa, Irvin, all of them. And then you throw in, obviously, Jamal Adams and Quentin Dunbar. And I'm hearing that from reporters that Marquise Blair looks very good as well. So they have that going for them. Because apparently he's flying all over the field, Marquise Blair is. So I'm excited.
Hold on. He's coming in, guys. We got one of the big dogs on here. Oh, my God. Team Keep It Clean is in the house. Engraven Vids, what is up, man?
What's going on, Sam Joke? What's up, Dallas?
Coach Harbaugh.
What's up, Jay? He said Coach Harbaugh.
Hey,
what's up, Jazzy?
What
up, Noah? Shout out
This
to
is
my
Michael
squad.
Mathis, my inside Ian Rappaport guy who deserves a job with Adam Schefter. He's always on the tweets. You obviously know Jazzy Jeff. And then this is my buddy Dallas, who I do the game picks with.
What's going on, man?
Man, this is one of the best live hangouts I got since you just made it better coming in like that, man. This is awesome.
I'm his Ian Rappaport and Adam Schefter guy that reads both their tweets.
Yeah, go
Not
ahead.
much. As he said, I'm his Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport, who reads from Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport.
That's you who he talking about in the videos when you're like, oh, my buddy just text me?
Yep,
one of them.
Okay, cool, man. Cool.
Yeah, but you know it's bad media. But man, I'll tell you what, Engraven, thanks for helping straighten out the whole Clowney madness thing with him going to the Titans, because that thing had me going crazy. It was just like, oh my gosh, it was giving me like freaking headache. I was like, can we just have the craziness be over? And I didn't even think he was going to come back to us, to be honest with you, though, too. But then again, you're a Ravens fan, and I got a Falcons fan on here, and obviously 4 Seahawks fans include the guy I have over at my house right now, too. And then what are your thoughts on, because you guys also brought in our former guy, DJ Fluker, who was good when he was healthy for us when we opened up someone's hole for Carson. And then, of course, you brought in the big dog, Calais Campbell, who's been in the league for a while, but he's still showing his presence to be known. So what are your expectations going forward for them? And, of course, what Fluker can help out with Lamar Jackson's running game along with Mark Ingram and Gus Edwards and them. What are your expectations going into this year?
Well, I'm expecting Super Bowl, man. Straight up, I'm expecting Super Bowl. I know that it's all the talk. Oh, Lamar hasn't won a playoff game, blah blah blah, and that's fine because he hasn't. As a starting quarterback, he hasn't won a playoff game. That's true. But I think this year they actually overachieve and go way past that and go to the Super Bowl. With DJ Fluker, they actually talking about with DJ Fluker. I was excited when we got him. I know I talked to a lot of Seahawks fans, and they said that he's better in run blocking than pass protection.
He was.
And that's fine. That's perfect for us because we run the ball so much. But with DJ Fluker, he's actually not even set to start right now. That's what they're saying. So we'll see if that holds true. But he will be sort of like a swing tackle, somebody that can come in and play different positions and whatnot. Might come in on like goal line packages and whatnot. But he's not set to start as of right now. We'll see if that changes.
He was a really cool guy. You know, I've met him a number of times when he was with the Seahawks. I really liked him a lot. He's a really cool person with the fans too. And if you're ever like in the future, like whenever we get that sense of normalcy back, if you're able to go to a game. I know you live in Florida and everything too, but when you try to meet players, it's like he was really good interacting with his fans too. I really liked Luke a lot, man. He was really cool.
Cool, man. Is he really that big? Like he
makes me look small.
He's massive.
The thing
he's had some
just like you guys, I saw him at the club in Seattle, and then I saw him at the South Center Ball in Seattle. So and both of those times, like, he was just like big as hell, like he just a monster, right? But then this offseason, he goes out and he loses all that weight.
Yeah.
Considering like he's a mauler, he's supposed to be a run blocking specialist. That's not helpful. As a former offensive lineman, I'll tell you, when I lost a whole bunch of weight, I was getting punked around in run blocking. I could pass block like nobody's business, but run blocking was hard for me because you really have to have that size. So I can't even imagine.
The person who in my life who made me look the smallest in my life, he's not in the league anymore, but he's in the Hall of Fame, and that was Pro Football Hall of Famer Walter Jones. I met him lots of times. Walter Jones has really lost a bunch of weight too in his life after football too. That guy made me look like a freaking ant.
You know, those football players, they're pretty big, man. Not all of them, but especially offensive linemen, they're supposed to be big. But Calais Campbell, with what you were saying about him, I'm super excited for him too, man. Because especially with the whole Earl Thomas debacle and whatever that was, that was just crazy, man. That whole scenario, that whole just everything was just crazy, man. Now, let me ask y'all a question, because y'all Seahawks fans, so y'all obviously know Earl Thomas very well.
Jeff's a Falcons fan. So
I know. Yeah, I see that big falcon in the background, man. But
all day, every day.
With Earl Thomas. Well, first, real quick, I gotta ask this question to Jazzy Jeff, man.
Go ahead.
Who do you think is the best receiver in the league?
It's Julio Jones. Are you kidding me?
Okay, I figure you were gonna say that. I think it's DeAndre Hopkins.
Don't talk about Michael Slant Thomas. Don't talk about him.
Oh no.
About DeAndre Hopkins.
No, not Michael Thomas. I do think Michael Thomas he's overrated, but at the same time, like, he doesn't drop many passes, but he is a beneficiary of the system that he's in. Because the Saints, they throw the ball like 50 million times.
Show me him breaking a tackle. Show me him mossing people. Show me him doing anything Julio Jones does. Show me him running a route tree beside the slant.
You were ready for this conversation.
He was heated about it earlier. I mean, dang.
All day long.
The problem with Julio,
like Seahawks fans deal with Rams and Niners fans, I deal with Saints fans on a regular. Like you deal with Steelers fans and Browns fans. I'm ready for this conversation all the time. I got a question for you, my brother.
Get ready for all the
in the regular season, you know, and I know Lamar Jackson is killing it, right? He's just the man. But when they get to the playoffs, he starts to struggle because teams go to more nickel and dime and more DBs on the field and make him beat him from the pocket. How does Lamar Jackson improve on that part? when teams force him to throw from the pocket?
Coaching.
We all know he can run.
Coaching. 1,000%. In the first playoff game 2 years ago, they obviously took the league by storm. Everything was just Lamar came in, I think, week 9, took over for Flacco. Everything was brand new. But then in the playoff Chargers game, they came out ready for it. But coaching, they kept running the same plays over and over and over, and it wasn't working, and they kept running them all the way up until the beginning of the fourth quarter. And then all of a sudden they spread it out, and then the Ravens started scoring. Then last year, the Ravens, they lead the league in rushing by far. It's not even close. And the coaches come out in the first playoff game, and they want to throw the ball. They ran the ball with their running backs 6 times, either 6 times or 9 times total.
One of them got picked off by. It wasn't Logan Ryan that picked off one of those passes in that game, was it?
Kevin Byard?
I think he did.
I think it was Logan Ryan.
Oh, Byard definitely did. He definitely got one too.
Go ahead,
I think it was Kevin Byard was his name.
Yeah,
I always forget how to say his last name. Byard. I always forget, man. But yeah. And that was probably Lamar's worst throw of all last season because Lamar stared down the wide receiver and the Byard was just sitting there waiting. Like, okay. Yeah. Or was it for Caro? Whoever it was, the Titans cornerback was just sitting there waiting for it, and Lamar threw it like straight to him. It was a terrible pass. But coaching, like you almost set your team up to fail if you're leading the league in rushing, and then all of a sudden you decide, oh, you know what, playoff game, let's completely throw out the window what worked, and let's do the opposite thing. But I think he'll be fine, man. I'm not worried about the whole.
I think the Titans really had a good defensive game plan.
Oh yeah. Can't knock them for that too, and Derrick Henry too, man. He the big runs that he broke off, those paid dividends to that win.
Yeah, but I don't get this. Why the heck would you trade an All-Pro pass rusher like Jarrell Casey to the Denver Broncos when Jarrell Casey had a big time effect with that defense? And part of the time, I think Casey was in on those 2 4th down stops on Lamar Jackson. It's like, why would you trade that big time factor like that to Denver? It's like, I mean, granted, I know they brought in Jadeveon Clowney now, but I really think Casey had like the biggest impact of that defense in Tennessee.
I don't know, man. I don't know why they got rid of him. I don't know if it was salary. I don't know if it was something in the locker room. I don't know if they just really felt like what they got from Denver was something they couldn't refuse. I don't know what it was, man. I got no clue.
Michael, you're pretty comfortable there, man.
Yeah, I'm chilling, bro.
I keep thinking. Can I ask you a follow-up question? So, obviously, the Baltimore Ravens are tight end heavy, and they got really good ones. They had, and being a Falcon fan, we took Hayden Hurst from you guys. Would you guys still have Mark Andrews, who's really good, and you have Nick Boyle, who's pretty good? So, just I only got a small sample size of watching Hayden Hurst play, and he looks pretty good. But tell me what you think we're getting and what you guys lost.
I told people a couple times, man, they would get upset because you know how fans get of their favorite team. They don't want to hear stuff that may not go in line with what everybody's general thinking is.
Right.
I told people if Hayden Hurst would have got the opportunity to start, he would have been the best tight end out of those 3. Wow. Hayden Hurst is nice, man. The dude does not drop the ball. He got some underrated speed, and he's a decent blocker. But Mark Andrews, he got good speed. His hands are a little shaky sometimes, but he's a playmaking tight end. He's good. Nick Boyle doesn't have any speed, but he's a really good blocker. But Hayden Hurst is a good combination of the 2. So he's the more all-around tight end, man. You're going to love him. I promise you, you are going to love Hayden Hurst. I promise you. The only reason he's not with the Ravens is because his rookie season he got hurt.
Yeah.
He had like a foot injury or something, and so that's why Mark Andrews ended up getting the starting job.
It's kind of like what you mentioned with like the injuries. Like we have this tight end that we obviously Will Dissly. We want him being healthy for us, and because when he's healthy, he's paid big dividends with the touchdowns and the plays he was able to make. And I know we got Greg Olsen, and we got freaking Jacob Holster, which personally I don't know. I really wanted Colby Parks to replace him. He didn't have that, surgery in that too. I hope he comes in during the season. But I think, when you look at the way Dissly has performed with the Seahawks and that too, if he's able to freaking stay healthy, no disrespect. I was thinking when he was healthy, he looked like he was better than George Kittle. No disrespect to Kittle, because we know Kittle's a monster in San Francisco too, and he deserves that money though too. It's just how big? I think this is make or break for freaking Will Dissly and Squabo and Michael and Dallas. Why don't you guys give me kind of your thoughts on that too? And then Engraven. I mean, have you seen any of Will Dissly's plays that he made when he was healthy with us?
No, I can't say that I have.
Yeah, he made a crazy ass catch against the Rams. Sorry, I know TP3, but he had a great catch in our big win against the Rams last year too. And he had 2 touchdowns against the Pittsburgh Steelers, which I'm pretty sure you were happy about that too.
Broncos. He had against the Broncos.
Yeah, one against the Bears. He had 2 touchdowns against the Steelers last year. He had a touchdown in I think he scored against the Arizona Cardinals. I think Dallas was doing that game when I had the crazy reaction to the Devion Clowney pick 6, and then he obviously scored when it was too late against the Saints. So it's just he has more touchdowns than Hollister. It's just I'm really praying for Dissly to have a full season.
What was he healthy for the Ravens game?
Well, in great.
He got hurt before the Ravens game. He got hurt at Cleveland.
Okay. So obviously you're pretty familiar with tight ends catching a lot of touchdowns. Mark Andrews last year, 10 touchdowns, led the NFL tight ends in touchdown receptions. Well, if Will Dissly had stayed healthy last year, he was on pace to lead the NFL, including Mark Andrews. And while it is by half of a touchdown, so I like to round up, obviously, as a homer, and all bias included here. It's full honesty.
At least just straight up.
Worst case scenario, he was on pace to be tied with Mark Andrews for the most touchdowns in the NFL had he stayed healthy. That's the type of impact that this guy had. And remember, when he came into the NFL out of the rival to my college, I go to Wazoo, he came out of UW. He was the best blocking tight end, and it wasn't even close.
Yeah.
He comes into our offense, we start to use him as the
pass catcher. He's a heck of a blocker, too. He's a great blocker, too. Dissly in the blocking game has been great. I remember when they first drafted him, they were saying, you just got, this is just as good as an offensive lineman. You got the best blocking tight end in the game. And then we thought he was only going to be a blocker, and then he came in and surprised us in the regular season with the touchdown catches he had. It was we may have something special. I just pray, because, Paul Richardson in his earlier years with Seattle was hurt a lot, too. And then when he came on in 16, 17, and was able to play through most of the season, was great. So that's why we really wanted for Will Dissly, because we saw what he could bring to the table. You okay, Engraven?
No, I was just remembering y'all got Paul Richardson back, too.
Damn, we just cut him again.
Yeah, we cut him, dude. Yeah, we cut him. He's gone.
Okay, well, that was quick.
Can I just say I love the way Squabo talks shit because he does it in such a smooth, calm ass way. I mean, his voice is all quiet and low, but he's still talking shit at the same time. with his Rico Suave smooth ass voice. Hey man, I fucked with you, man, because you are total opposite from me. If I'm running my mouth, this is what I'm gonna sound like. You'd be like, hey man, Will Dissly, he's the best tight end we ever had. No offense, I'm trying to keep it clean for you, Engraven. I am trying to, my best to keep it clean. It's just, a different channel. I know you like to do your thing.
I appreciate it. It's all good.
Oh, I'm sorry.
This is your channel. It's not mine, man. So do your thing.
Is that your whole thing? My bad.
No,
yeah, I know Jeff told me the same thing on that, but I wasn't so sure with that because, I want to be respectful to some kids that might be watching too. But, I mean, I do cuss on that on my channel too. No disrespect. I mean, Dallas and I do a lot of that in our game. All the stuff we do. So, I'm drinking, I'm cussing, I'm doing everything on this game. I got so mug that I got at Treasure Island in Las Vegas.
Is that James Glenn comment true that P. Rich came into camp out of shape? Is there an article about that?
Who knows if he came out of shape, but I would believe it if we cut him that early.
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked.
Engraven, you still there? Engraven?
We might have lost Engraven.
I wouldn't be surprised if the reason that we didn't keep Paul Richardson was because of the whole Josh Gordon thing.
He's back. Okay, he's back. He's back.
He's alive. That's good.
How long are you going to be streaming for?
Well, we wanted to try to keep it for a good amount of time on here, too. I mean, we've been going for 2 hours, and then when Jazzy Jeff suggested we bring in Noah, and then we saw you pop in, and we wanted to have you in. We just wanted to try to have a fun stream talking football on that, too. And NorCam is actually live right now with Sleeta, and it was funny. It's like Cameron was split between that stream and this stream because this became so legendary because you came on, man.
Nah.
And then,
I think what Norb's that's Sleeta's the Falcons fan, right?
Yeah. I'm supposed to go on with him this Thursday, and I know one time we were trying to talk about a possible collaboration with you and me sometime for like the football talk, but I think this is a good start for what we got going on here, man. This worked out perfectly than I expected it to, you know?
Yeah, man.
And then, of course,
Yeah,
having Michael in here, having Dallas over with the stuff we do. I mean, Michael, like I said, Mad Hits Media, you got to check him out with some of the stuff he does on there. But he is always on it. And I always said, Michael, you deserve a job with Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport and all those guys. You are on it.
You never know what could happen.
So on that note, the Seahawks have re-signed Shaquem Griffin to their practice squad now. Yeah. Officially.
Practice squad.
Yeah, so Shaquem Griffin on the practice squad.
Your channel, bro.
Hold on. I got to get off for a little bit. I check to see if y'all still on when I come back. And if it's on, I'll just try to come through again.
Hey, your presence on here made this so much better.
And Graven, we both picked you. Sam both picked you in week 1 against the Browns.
I love your one Percy Harvin video on Madden 13, I think.
Oh, wow, no bad.
I got a text from Anisha on something too.
Hey, nice to meet you.
It was like with Percy Harvin, you can do it all or something. That was pretty funny.
Wow, that's so bad. Wow, appreciate it, man.
Thank you. Real quick before you go, I subbed to your channel. I just want to let you know I subbed to your channel. And real quick, J.K. Dobbins, what do you think about him real quick for fantasy football?
Man, he gonna end up being a starter soon enough, man. I'd say around like week 6, 7, maybe. I think he's gonna end up being a starter and taking it from Mark Ingram because I think he's gonna be one of those dudes that they can't keep off the field, man.
Okay, thank you, because I picked him up. Thank you.
And Grave, you think sometime we could do this again, but on your channel and get me on sometime, you know, because I know I had mentioned it to you prior on one of my other videos that you commented on to get a collaboration on your channel sometime. Yeah. Like if you want to do something with Norb again or try to do something, maybe we can get me on because I've always wanted to try to get on with you sometime with that too. You know, I know I've made that on the comments.
Yeah, that's fine, man.
Yeah,
that's fine. And I like with Stream, y'all, you can have up to 10 people now.
Yeah, that's cool.
And you don't even have to pay for it.
Nice.
Yeah, man. All right, y'all. I'll catch up with y'all if y'all still on later.
All right, thanks, man.
I appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it. We got another Mad Hits Media thing on here, but I know, Michael, you're already on here. Is it like a fake one here?
Wait, so Engraven is a Ravens fan from
I'm trying to share my screen for something. I had something from Engraven here. It was pretty funny.
Oh, you're doing a share screen? Yeah.
Does that work?
Yeah. Jazz tried to do something earlier with his.
It wouldn't let me.
Let's see if I can get this working. Let's see. Stop that screen. Share screen.
Now we're back to the.
I think I know how to do this now. 1 second. Let me see what I can do here.
Is it something to do with Madden?
Yeah, it's actually the first engraved video that I ever saw because I used to be really into like the Madden YouTubers, and he was one at one point in time. He might actually still be. I haven't watched the channel in a while, but see if I can find it on here.
Hey, Squabble, would you say the Seahawks defensive line has improved or declined since last year?
Oh man. So here's what I would say.
Well,
I think in terms of strictly the personnel, based on the fact that we lost Jadeveon Clowney, I think in the run game, our defensive line specifically got worse, but in our pass rush, I believe it got better. But our defense as a whole is going to greatly benefit because of our secondary and our linebackers. I think we took Jordan Brooks too early in the draft, but I do think him, along with Jamal Adams and Bobby Wagner, makes Seattle the best tackling defense in the NFL. And based on having that security blanket behind them, I think that's what's going to benefit the defensive line more than anything. I don't think the running or the rush defense is phenomenal for our defensive line anymore now that Jadeveon is gone and we don't have like a Michael Bennett type anymore. But those linebackers are going to come up and make a lot of tackles for us. So I do think the defensive line will benefit.
Mayo, and plus you got Mayo and Urban coming off of like close to like 16 combined sacks in their respective teams last year. So hopefully if we can get back to that pressure, if they can still play at that high level and get pressure on the – my only thing is that we need to start getting pressure on opposing quarterbacks again, which is what me and my dad have always been a lot of. I mean, sure, run. I like having good run stopping, but I would like to personally get back to hitting the quarterback, which is what I like, producing stats, you know? And plus a good pass rush helps out the secondary a lot too and helping force interceptions. I mean, like we had when we had the Legion of Boom and Averill and Bennett and all those guys, all those other guys that we had in freaking 2013 along with Clemens and Tony McDaniel and Clint McDonald and those guys. Those guys knew how to get it done.
I asked because no matter how good a secondary is, if Matt Ryan has time, he can carve up any defense. The way to stop us is pass rush up the middle in his face because Matt Ryan is not fast enough to escape, run around like a Russell Wilson. So that direct pressure up the middle is what is how you disrupt our offense. So adding Jamal Adams is good. That secondary is improved, but if that pass rush isn't hitting, then we're going to find open guys to make you pay for it. So that's why I asked, how good is the pass rush going to be?
No, you're exactly right. Like up the middle, we're completely reliant on Jerron Reed. Is he going to have a year like he did 2 years ago where he had 10.5 sacks? Or is he going to have a year like last year where he started 6 games late and then started playing as if he was still suspended? Only 3 sacks on the year, playing out the remainder of the season. So it's 100% dependent on Jerron Reed and if he shows up because that is literally like 90% of our interior pressure.
Reed's been one of our best
other 10 would be stoppers
too. Reed's been one of our best run stoppers ever since he came in from Bama too. So we need Reed. This is also a make or break year. I know we've just re-signed Reed to that deal, but we need Jaron Reed to come up big this year, man. Yeah. Did you see that play that Michael was showing us on the freaking Madden right there?
That's nasty. That's nasty.
With Percy Harvin, you can do it all.
With Percy Harvin, you can do it all.
That's what my friends did to me growing up. They would take Michael Vick to piss me off, and they just run around all in the backfield doing circles and then just running up the middle, right down the sideline and score a touchdown.
One of the first defensive adjustments I learned in Madden was how to set a spy.
All right. Someone asked a question about Alton. To me personally, when I first saw the Seahawks draft Alton Robinson, and then when I first looked at it and seen the highlights, one of the things I really love about Alton Robinson, he's been a big standout too, is his sack numbers. I loved seeing how many sacks this guy was getting. I really hope that Alton Robinson can prove to be one of those guys that can really get after the quarterback, you know?
Well, and he's one of those guys. He spent the offseason working out at the facility with Bobby Wagner, KJ Wright, Cliff Abel, in Bellevue, where they're working specifically on his pass rush abilities. Obviously, there have been a lot of good things that people have heard about how Alton Robinson has looked this offseason. But when he's able to get on the field, whenever he's going to get his reps, I look for him to have a significant impact for a rookie.
I just pray for Darrell Green, man. It just sucks that we didn't know about that injury. I was having some hopes for him to come out.
Darrell Taylor?
Yeah, Darrell Taylor. That's what I meant to say, Darrell Taylor. I was having some hopes for Darrell Taylor. We need him to come out big. And then, of course, I'm really one of my freaking unsung heroes of the defense last year, and I really hope he continues to improve, is Rasheem Green. And if you see my player interaction videos, this is what I always say to Rasheem Green before games. Like, in my player interaction, I always be like, hey, Rasheem, show me that USC muscle. And every time he flexes it, he does this. He flexes it every freaking time. In my player interactions videos, I would get a lot of that in my player interactions videos when I interact with Rasheem Green. I mean, the guy led us in sacks last year. Yeah, it wasn't 4 sacks last year for us.
I don't expect Rasheem Green to lead us in sacks again this year because this offseason we brought in 3 guys that, had they been on our team and had the same amount of production that they had last year, they would have led us. Jamal, Bruce Irvin, and Benson Mayoa.
And Jamal, the safety blitzing good. I mean, you gotta freaking run him the way that Greg Williams fucking ran him in the Jets, man. But I mean, we gotta do it better. Especially that was funny with that freaking beef that happened when Pete Carroll just roasted Greg Williams on that show, man. Jamal,
I think there was merit to what both of them were saying. Seattle's coverage can be basic at times. We can play extremely conservative. I don't like how we play it because considering the fact that at least in the past, this year I think we have one of the most talented defenses that we've had in a while. But last year, I definitely did not think so. So I thought we should have changed it up more, not because we have the personnel to, but because we have to do something to get an edge to set that offense back on their drives, because otherwise, if we're going mano-a-mano, we're just going to lose. And that's what happened far too often. Have our cornerbacks back. I want us to press our corners. I've issued a challenge, Trey Flowers, because I know he's watching. I would like to have a bench on Trey Flowers because I feel like I could out-bench him right now. And that's a problem because I'm on the couch and he's playing for the Seahawks. I want to see more press coverage from our corners, and I think that's one of the biggest impacts that Quentin Dunbar is going to bring is that he can play press coverage. He's a handsy guy. He was initially wide receiver, and then the reason that they used him as cornerback was because they tried him out on special teams in Washington, and he was jamming the gunners, the fast guys that go down and make the tackle on the punt returner. So he was jamming them so well. He was so good with his hands. That's why they moved him to DB. That's why he's a cornerback. So that in Seattle means that we're going to press coverage like we did back in 2013, back in 2014 when we had Brandon Browner and Richard Sherman. So
let's check in on Norcam really quick and see what's going on with let's check in on our friend Mr. Norcam.
Squabble, real quick.
Always try to force the run to set up the pass.
Julio Jones.
We'll get in a second. I'm still talking about your guys' offense. So, one thing I think that's going to be different, or hopefully will be different. Again, bring up Jamal Adams because in the last couple of years, ever since the LB fell apart, we've had to change our scheme. We had Earl Thomas back there as a single free high safety. We had Cam Chancellor lurking around, patrolling the middle, helping up on the run defense, and we had our corners locking things down. Well, once Earl Thomas was gone, once Cam Chancellor was gone, we had weaknesses in our safeties. We had to go to two high safety.
I'll turn the volume down a little bit. Norv's talking to Sleater right now. Sleater's got the freaking Norcam hat hair on right now.
And with Quandre Diggs back there and Jamal Adams controlling the middle of the field and helping out on run support,
I think I'll be honest with you, man. This was freaking. I think this was more legendary with who we had come on here. You know what I mean?
On that D-line and our offensive line, for that matter.
Come on, man. Shout out the stream we have. Shout out our freaking stream.
Come on, you're right. Concerned about is how solid our defensive line is going to be with the whole Jadeveon Clowney coming back, not signing a big name edge rusher. It's going to be a big question mark as to what our defensive line
Come on, Norv. Shout out
helps a lot. And whatever
I put it in there. I said, "Come on, Norv. Shout out this epic stream."
I'm expecting a lot. As much as we gave up for Jamal Adams, he's got to step up and do something.
Yeah. Guys, get in on the Norv thing and let's just bomb him and tell him about the stream we're having right now, guys. Get in on Norv's thing and let's just fill his comments up with what we got going on in there, man. On here, man. Let's tell him what's up, man.
Everybody go check out his channel. He's one of the reasons the original Falcon video makers that I interacted with when I first got on here.
Is lit right now.
So go check him out. If you like breaking down a football, that would be him and Jazzy Jeff, Real Talk. When you were talking about defense, you were talking about pass rush. The success that people have against the Falcons and Matt Ryan is when he's pressured a lot. So if you guys are not able to pressure Matt Ryan consistently, I mean, I would say 1 or 2 sacks is not going to be that bad, but if you guys aren't able to pressure Matt Ryan consistently, I don't see how you're going to stop the offense. And I think the Falcons' defense.
Yeah, but then I just say that.
Improved. Keanu Neal's coming back.
Good, Nick.
I know we've had 2 straight years of.
Yo, I think we're getting them in there, man. Nobody we can see what we got going on in here, man.
Ask the Buccaneers.
I think I hope he's got to hurry up and give us all the shout outs really quick, man. They freaking missing out on that, you know?
I don't know if it's coming, man.
I don't know, man, but we had the most, I think this is probably one of the most legendary things we ever had, man. He even got the live call-in right now.
We focused a lot on defense.
Damn, Norm got the freaking call-in thing on right now. I'm going to try to freaking call in. I don't know about y'all, but I'm going to try to call into this right now.
And if you
I'm gonna freaking try to call into that.
Plays and yours doesn't. I don't see how you're.
I don't know about this, man.
I'll be able to outscore it.
All right, I'm doing it.
Well, tell me something new. A team that can't put pressure on the quarterback, pretty much any team that can't do that is not going to probably.
Here we go, guys.
Tell me something new here, Sleeta. But
all right, guys, we got something going on.
Pass rush, and that's why there was so much emphasis on us picking up the pass rush. And we didn't get it, but we did get some guys familiar.
All right, here we go. The code is
had good numbers,
pound 696-153.
Wait, Sim.
Guys like Jaron Reed.
Yeah.
We've got Rasheem Green.
Never mind.
Guys like that just have to. And LJ
so
Collier
you got Bruce Irvin back.
Yep.
So you got Bruce Irvin back.
I don't think it's working.
Bruce Irvin is back. Yes.
Okay.
Oh wait, I'm in, guys. I'm in. I'm in.
How come Dan Quinn does not?
Guys, I'm in. I got the call-in thing, man. We gotta tell.
the only Seattle player defensively I know that he got at one point was finally got Bruce Irvin here for a year. But then he got this.
Answer the phone, Norm.
What was his name?
Yeah.
Preset before we
All right,
started.
guys. This is going to be legendary. If we get a call in on Norm on that freaking stream, man, this shit is going to be even more freaking legendary, man. You know what I'm saying? Can you guys still hear me?
Yep.
I don't think you're gonna reach Norb this way. You're just watching the stream on a phone.
Yeah, I mean,
that's not gonna call into him.
I'm calling into him. I'm already waiting in the freaking weight room on the mute and whatnot, man.
He typically gets there eventually, but it takes him a little bit. He waits till the end of the call or the stream.
Does. Yeah, he freaking waited. Dude, did some people tell him about the freaking... I'm telling you, we have a lit stream on our channel, man. We have a lit stream on our channel. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so man, it's like, we're having a lot of fun, man. How many likes we got on this video so far from what we had earlier with freaking Engraven, man? I'm pretty sure we got a good amount of likes on that video, man. I'm gonna check on the phone, man. Guys, make sure y'all thumbs up in this stream, man. This is freaking legendary as heck, man. For real.
Hey, we got a Bucks fan in the stream.
Yeah, it's that same guy that Sleeta was ripping. Oh God, I'm getting in. Dude, Norb shouted me out.
Tell him to answer his phone.
Answer your phone. Yeah, dude. Nickel Boat said Norb makes Sam Dog a mod. Dude, Norb's just like freaking. I don't know if he's gonna answer or whatnot, man. It's crazy, man. We gotta get Norb to answer the damn phone so that way we can get this shit going, man. Oh God, I think we got something here, guys. Here we go, man. We got 8 likes on this video, man.
8 likes? Wow, we're cooking.
We got 8 likes for this. This is legendary, especially when you had Jeff, Dallas, Noah, and Mr. Michael Mathis, Ian Rapper, Adam Schefter's new side man that he should hire, man.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's go.
I don't feel like laying down anymore.
Ooh. You all right, Michael? Michael, you look super relaxed, man, from the way you came in, man, on the couch.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But Jazzy Jeff, you were asking me a question earlier?
I can't remember what it was, man. It's been so long.
Julio, I believe.
Yeah, you was talking about how you want your corners to press more. And I would say with Julio, that's not a great thing because he draws a lot of flags or he'll just burn you and throw you to the side because he's way stronger. I think pressing worked on Calvin. He's smaller frame and you can but you can't do that with Julio. That's not a good look. So I'm just saying, be careful what you wish for when you guys talk about pressing guys. Hey, what's his name? Dirty ass Marshawn Lattimore, he tries to hit it all the time. And his ass, if he don't get a flag, that man holds so damn much. And when he doesn't, Julio burns him every time.
Yeah. I mean, we all seen how bad it was. I mean, Jazzy Jeff, I went through a video from the NFC Championship game of his team against the Packers when Julio broke those 3 tackles, especially after being held, too. So, I mean, I would still agree with Jeff on the part that what he's mentioned currently right now about Julio Jones being the best receiver in the league right now. But I mean, I agree, but in a way, you know, I mean, what DeAndre Hopkins is doing with crazy catch like is insane too. You know, I mean, I don't.
There's a difference between spectacular catches and being a great player. Like Odell Beckham is king of the spectacular catches. When it comes down to a real game, in-game catches, Beckham doesn't show up a lot of times. He drops a lot of passes. I'm just saying, he don't show up like the Julio shows up. Y'all saw that game after he went to that boat on Miami, and then he played in the playoffs versus Packers. Odell Beckham seemed up real small in that playoff game. His only playoff game, to be exact.
Well, I feel like if we're taking stats out of the picture, because obviously if it's statistically based, Michael Thomas running away. He's gotten better every single year. 149 receptions, 1,725 yards. Like, are you kidding me with that stat line?
Depends what category you're talking about. Julio Jones is a record for the most consecutive 1,400 plus yard seasons. Michael Thomas doesn't have that.
We're still good. We hope we can get engraving back.
1,400 yard seasons. When it comes to yards, Julio Jones is the man. For a long time, when it came to touchdowns, it was nothing to A/B. But to me, touchdowns are overrated because obviously a team can go down the field 90 yards, then they can throw a 1 yard touchdown pass. So how great does that make that wide receiver?
Glitching his head, man.
Right.
Yards, glitching, man.
Period. There's no point on yards. Julio Jones is doing it. Michael Thomas has never had a 300 build game. I would love to see him do that. And Julio Jones dropped it on the Panthers like it was nothing.
Well, that was a fun game to watch too.
That's my problem with Julio.
Practice on
There
PK
are some weeks where he's such an integral part. He is the offense. 300 yards, 3 touchdowns.
You agree with
and
this,
then the
Jazzy?
next week he'll disappear and have 19 yards and no touchdowns, right?
Well,
I agree with what 12 man is
not
saying.
disappearing. It is a function of the offense because there's a lot of games where actually
I agree with that.
win when Julio Jones gets less numbers because Matt Ryan's spreading it around. Went to the Super Bowl. Matt Ryan broke a record for the most touchdown passes to different positions.
Guys, call time.
What?
Call time.
So there's a lot of games where we actually do better when we feed everybody else. I understand what you're saying, but I remember a lot of games where Julio Jones goes off and we still lose the game. So, and Julio Jones will tell you himself, he's not a numbers guy. All he cares about is winning. He's not Odell. He's not AB. He doesn't care about that shit. He cares about winning. So ask.
I respect.
Oh, he went to some other caller first, man.
There's times in
some other caller first,
you
man.
lose and ask Julio, how do you feel? You had a great game, blah, blah, blah. Julio will look at the camera and say, did you win? And then the person will say no. And he'll say, okay, then that's all I care about. He does not care about that at all. He cares about winning. So that's one of the things I love about Julio. He knows how to win the game. He knows the right way to win the game. He's not a selfish person. He doesn't care if Calvin goes off. He cares about winning. So, yeah, there's a lot of times where he doesn't get the ball a lot, but because Matt Ryan is spreading it around, we don't want to be a singular focus, just throwing it to Julio all the time. That's how we lose games. You gotta be smart, and not be a selfish player in that circumstance.
I think a case could definitely be made for Julio Jones, and I think if anyone could make it, it's definitely you. But another name that I want to throw out there that I would take before Julio as of right now, Nuke Hopkins. I think he has the best
Hopkins
in the NFL. And I think if Nuke Hopkins was in a system like Michael Thomas in New Orleans, I think Hopkins would be better than Michael Thomas. I agree with you that Michael Thomas is
look at the freaking
just the main part of that system, right? He benefits greatly. Nuke Hopkins?
Yeah. He's better than Michael Thomas. This man has been putting up numbers with some of the shittiest quarterbacks you've ever seen in your life. Tom Savage, Brock Osweiler. I mean, hell, Sam can get out there and sling it better than these guys.
DeAndre Hopkins his only good quarterbacks Deshaun Watson, and I'm anxious to see what he does with Kyler Murray though. But Bill O'Brien, I don't know. He's on the hot seat this year, man. If the Texans don't do anything, man. I feel like that was fired. Just like when Ruskell didn't bring back Steve Hutchinson, man, for offensive line, instead of franchising Sean Alexander, Like Ruskell should have been trying to pay up Steve Hutchinson for 05 back in the day, man. Me and my daddy said that back way before we got Pete and John Schneider.
And I will say that there is times where Julio is so great that there's times where he misses some of the most routine catches you've ever seen. You're like, what is that? He's so amazing at making big plays. Like sometimes there's one against Carolina. It was right over his shoulder. He was wide open. He dropped it. And I think sideline catches, Hopkins is better at than Julio. His sideline toe tapping, one-handed catches. I'll give Hopkins, he's better at that. When it comes to physical presence, like bodying guys, mossing guys, I think Julio is better. He's really bigger, stronger than Hopkins. Hopkins has a skinnier frame, so you can't push him around.
He is.
I 100% agree with that. I also, coincidentally, I might think Julio's better at those sideline catches than you do. I give DeAndre Hopkins the edge, but you remember that catch Julio had in that disaster of a Super Bowl that almost, won you guys?
Yeah, I mean, the only difference is then they got all the holding calls and knocked them out of field goal range.
No, Squabble. I don't remember that fucking Super Bowl. Yeah, I remember that fucking Super Bowl. Go ahead.
Well, yeah.
Don't bring back Jazzy Jeff bad memories. I mean, just like we hate having the memory of freaking passing on the freaking 1 yard. And Noah, you may not know this, but I went to Super Bowl 49, right?
Hey, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Do I need to show the picture on the screen?
Squabble, one of my best friends, he's one of those asshole dudes who loves filming people in funny ass situations.
What? Oh, guys, we got Norm. Dude, he's flying me on.
What?
Norm Cam, what is up? I'm on the live stream while I am live as well, and we having a legendary stream over here. We got Jazzy Jeff, we got Squabble, we got Michael Mathis, we got Dallas Stewart at my house too, man. If you're live on there with Sleeta and that too, we've had Engraven Vince come in and holler, man. It is lit over here on my channel, man. What is going on? Dallas, say what's up to Norm.
What's up, Norm?
What's up, fellas?
Yep. Hey, everybody on the stream, say hi to Norm.
Hey, what's up, Norm?
What's up?
Yep. Everybody on my channel, say what's up. It is crazy right now, Norm. Share screen my stream right now, Norm. Share screen my screen right now, man. You gotta. You and Sleeta got
share screen my screen.
I'm share screening yours right now as we speak while we got the legend. While I got some of the other people on there, including my homie and hooked up to free agency news, Mr. Michael Mathis, Mad Hits Media on here. This is insane right now, Norm. And Jazzy Jeff and I were talking week 1 and that too. It's gonna be fun, man. How you doing over there on the other side, Sleeta?
I saw you stream earlier. I tried to I commented from
Can't really hear it very well.
Make sure I say this correctly. Jazzy Jeff, real talk. Is that correct, sir?
Yes.
Long time ago, if you like Falcon, break down, and I'm talking.
So, who do you have winning this game?
Jazzy Jeff, real talk. Please, I love the content, but he's over my channel on
I love his content. He's a huge supporter of my channel. I'm glad we've come in contact now. We got this thing rolling. The infamous is extremely hyperactive and he's extremely pumped. And while he's on, we have a bet coming up. And we'll talk about it on our show Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
That's right.
To where if Atlanta wins, he has to drink some kind of beer of Coors Light or whatever. I'm going to drink it up a little bit, sir. But if Seattle wins, you're going to split up. Take a
cigar. You just have to suck in the smoke and just blow it out, man. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, but you don't have to inhale it.
Blow it out. Don't inhale.
You just have to suck in the smoke and just blow it out, man. That's all you gotta do. Suck in the smoke and blow it out.
Dude,
Don't inhale.
Sam's the cigar smoking king out there, and so Sleeta, you're not a cigar smoker, I assume.
I'm not a smoker, period. So that's all I'm gonna do is puff and blow your house down. That's all I'm gonna do.
You can just tell I didn't inhale. Sleeta doesn't inhale.
No inhaling here.
Let's get hashtag Sam Dog Cigar Smoking King.
Hey, I got to shout out the super chat, man. Unix format with a $30 super chat, man. Thank you so much. You're the one.
Yeah, but anyway, Norm, I know you were going live right now, but I had to freaking come in and tell you about the stream, man. And I appreciate you guys having me on.
So, will Jamal Adams retire as Seahawk? I hope so.
He will.
He'll be awesome, guys. God, he's a freaking legendary, right?
I'm just looking at some of the comments right now because I haven't been doing that too much. I would take Julio over Hopkins. I can see it.
Yeah.
Texans 2 worst O-line in NFL.
I said
no argument on that one.
I said 28-21. We win it by a touchdown, Norb.
My dog is also chilling right here, just kind of begging for attention.
But this is awesome, guys. Guys, this is freaking insane right now, guys. This is freaking insane. Yeah.
So I'm looking at. I have Madden up on my screen right now. Madden 21, the newest Madden game.
You gotta show it in the stream, man. You gotta show it in there. Oh man, I almost lose my.
Michael Thomas is the #1 receiver in Madden.
Yeah, I know I'm not really in the. I mean, I only got like 4 people in right now in the thing right now.
Julio Jones has never been a 99 in Madden.
Got in there earlier. Let's see it. Let's see it.
It goes
oh my gosh!
Mike Thomas, DeAndre Hopkins, and Julio Jones. Oh, I see myself on there now. But yes, it says here. Just looking strictly at Madden stats right now, we have Julio Jones definitely faster than Michael Thomas. That is true.
Oh my God.
Julio Jones is only 1% stronger than Michael Thomas is.
Yep.
What? Julio Jones has a 78. Michael Thomas has a 77. It should be way higher than that.
Michael Thomas will try to flex some small ass after every first down. It's beautiful.
What's up, Sam Dog?
I'm just looking at how lame this is. Like, these ratings are not good.
Guys, I don't know who that is.
Bolt, you let Bolt in the chat too? Everybody said what's up, man. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to my chat now. Hey, I'm gonna get back to my thing. I'm gonna get
the reason I asked about
if you ain't with it.
Even last
it's kind of choppy.
When Matt Schaub in the game, he still threw for 405 yards. And Julio Jones still. So,
all right, that goes off that one, guys. We did it, man. We made a legendary stream off of this one, man.
Now, Tyler Lockett always goes off on us. And one of the reasons why I think we lost the game, I was telling Sam Dog earlier, because Chris Carson had 20 carries plus. When you guys run it down our throats, that's when we lose versus you guys. So, to all the Seahawks fans saying, let Russ cook, the numbers show that when he has more pass attempts, you guys actually lose the game. And we actually do better on you guys. You guys want to run it down our throats. I'm telling you, maybe against other teams, that whole Russ cook thing might work. But against us, to beat us, I'm telling you, you want to run it down our throats. That's what you want to do.
You're actually very much correct on that. But the thing is, Seahawks have a propensity to run the ball even when it's not working. They don't really adjust their game plan sometimes.
And that's what we
do. Like
sometimes when it doesn't work,
the biggest example being the Dallas Cowboys wild card game a few years back.
I was just about to say that, Michael. I was just about to say that.
Yep.
Oh man.
Just keep on running the ball even though it's not working.
Dude, 3-hour mile mark. Dude, we hit the 3-hour mark. I mean, obviously, I think the longest me and Dallas ever went for a stream was the full 7 hours of red zone on the last red zone of last year.
He's playing a game of Madden, and he might run the ball 1 or 2 times, and the rest of the game is throwing. Like, a lot of Madden players, they aren't dedicated to actually running the football like real life. I'm one of the Madden players. I will keep running the football on you. I don't care.
Hey, you should play with Michael in Madden, Jazz. You should hit up Michael in Madden. Michael's a hell of a Madden player, man.
No, I'm not.
You said you
were, like Mike and Squabo, I would give y'all the business in Madden. But, since then, life has changed, and I've gotten older, and I got rusty, and I haven't played in a long, long time,
Oh, man.
If we had a time machine, I'd go back and beat the brakes off of both of them. I'm telling you that right now.
I'll tell you this right now.
I always took the Falcons. NFL Blitz, when we had our passing and running bar was at like 1, I was still beating people with the Falcons.
Yeah, were you ever doing the power running where you run through defenders and it would do the bowling pin sound effect when the ball hits the pin? Like, I remember that from NFL Blitz back in the day. One of my favorite things, I used to play with my buddy Adam, like when he got an NC score while back when he was living in Lakewood. And I remember some of the funny things we look out for with the tackles or the clothesline tackles, like in wrestling, the rest like that was so hilarious, clothesline tackles in that game.
Madden, I hated the worst was the one with the fucking QB vision flashlight thing.
Oh, the cone?
Yeah, because I'm not going to change my team, and we had Michael Vick back then, and his fucking vision was so damn small because his accuracy was shit. So it was so hard to throw a damn pass with him. I mean, all I had to do was run in that game because his accuracy was so bad.
Yeah. All I did when I played it with my buddy Adam, NFL Blitz the 64, was run the quarterback because I sucked at the pass. We sucked at the pass on that. We got a lot of dividends, kept on running the quarterback and blitz on the N64, and we would kill teams just with that. Hardly ever. And we would do double blitz packages, and we would hit their receivers every time since there were no penalties in that game. It was just epic back in the day, man.
Y'all remember NFL Street?
Oh, my buddy Adam was killing that. I think the yard is something similar to that, man. Michael Mathis, when he first showed me the thing for the yard, even though I don't play Madden, he said the freaking yard. When I saw it and I showed my buddy Adam, like, dude, this is some NFL Street type shit, man. It was insane.
So
I think I have a
NFL
clip right here of it, actually.
Yeah, you can do wall jumps in NFL Street. So I would just take Michael Vick, run to the sideline, and when defenders come, just wall jump him every time. And it would work every single time. There was no way to stop it. Every single time. Wall jumps.
Every time with Mike Vick, huh? And what about Steve? I know Steve McNair was in there. The late Aaron McNair, may he rest in peace, man. I mean, you ever use Aaron McNair in that game too?
Yeah, man. NFL Street, you can unlock actual legends in there. So you can unlock Lawrence Taylor. It was like fucking cheating once you got Lawrence Taylor. It's a wrap.
Yeah, because Lawrence Taylor was a freaking badass linebacker, defensive pass rusher from back in the day. I mean, Bill Belichick freaking coached him well as a defensive coordinator when he was being mentored by Parcells.
And then the dude from the Raiders who killed that guy, the defensive back. Fuck, what's his name? Hall of Fame defensive back. He actually killed the guy during a game during the Oakland Raiders.
Charles Woodson.
Are you talking about the assassin Jack Tatum?
Oh yeah,
Tatum. NFL 3, you can unlock Jack Tatum. And his hit power is 100. Yeah. So he's like an automatic fumbling tackler. The moment you hit people with him, they just fumble the ball in that game. He was like a cheat code too.
Hey man, that's always fun, man. Those haymakers, man.
Okay, Mike,
that's the best feeling.
And Sean Alexander was filthy in NFL Street. He was a cheat code too.
All right, watch this what Michael's about to show, man, from the freaking yard.
What is this?
This is from the yard.
Madden 21's yard. Number one with the tucked up jersey is me there in the Seahawks jersey.
That's the yard. I mean, heard this shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, it's like their arcade football mode.
Okay.
Whoop.
Who's this?
That's me.
Oh.
Wait, is this Mike right now playing?
No, he's just showing.
Yeah, that was me.
That was Michael right there.
Left-handed throw too.
Is that live or is that a replay? What?
Replay.
That's a replay. I have clips on my Xbox app right here.
Yeah, you can tell how old I am because I don't even know what the fuck this is.
Yep.
Jazzy Jeff,
I don't know this.
How old are you?
I don't know what this clip is right here.
I turned 34 in November.
Man,
yeah.
you young, brother. You young. You look younger.
I got a Super Nintendo Classic. That's what I got.
I played the Super Nintendo before, man. I always go with I fucks with Super Mario World, man. Yoshi's Island.
Hey, I'll get on some Street Fighter and bust y'all asses. That's what I do.
I don't know what this one is.
Fighter came out.
I like Honda from that. I love the music of Balrog stage in Vegas, though. That's the best theme from that game, though. If I was
fellas, I greatly appreciate you having me on. I gotta get some homework done now.
All right, Squabbo. Thanks for coming on, man.
I ain't done homework in 10 years. Shit.
I haven't done homework in over close to 10 years. I got my freaking reunion coming up next year, man.
Love you guys.
All right, Bolt has left the building, man. I think we've been going for 3 hours now, man. 3 hours and 7 minutes. I appreciate you guys coming on here. This was a fun stream, man.
A lot of good content.
A lot of great content, man.
Insight,
man, from everybody. It's cool to finally have Michael showing himself in the stream too, man. So yeah, Jeff, man, make sure we keep our guy in the loop, and obviously, Dallas. You'll see lots of me and him doing game picks throughout the rest of the NFL season.
Nice to meet you, Jeff.
Oh, it's nice to meet you too, man. Pleasure.
All right, Sam Dog, Infamous 2.5, we'll be signing out on this. And remember, if you ain't with it, you ain't infamous. As always, go Seahawks. And this was an epic ass stream, man.